arms and showing off their might before Ravana. These are epic moments that I'm witnessing right now, and as I run you through them, let me also introduce all our reporters who are joining us on this broadcast. I've got with me Ritik Bontal, who's joining us from Kolkata, also Amit Bharadwaj, who's joining me from another vantage point here at the Ramlila Maidan. We've also got our reporters who are joining us from Jaipur also this evening on all the celebrations. But I want to take this across first to Ritik Bontal, because Ritik, good evening, happy Dussehra to you. In Kolkata, of course, I'm sure the spirit of Durga Puja is still very much there. Everyone will be right now immersing their idols. Take us through what's happening.
The 5 days long Durga Puja celebration comes to an end today, but at the same point of time when the Durga Puja immersion, idol immersion is going on river Ganges, we can see the preparations for Dashera celebration is underway here in Kolkata. Let me give you a sense what exactly happening here in Salt Lake, and let me cut across to this visual. In an hour or two, this the Dashera celebration, this ground has been prepared for Dashera celebration. Ravana Dahan will be performed here in Salt Lake. People at large number have gathered over here. Remember, Kolkata is a place for this, for the biggest festival of Durga Puja, for this festivity. And we did see during this, Vijayadashmi, how, deities of Ma Durga, where the people were gathered at Ganga Ghats here in Kolkata for immersion, and also they celebrated and also joined for Shindur Khela. And on the other half, on the second half of the day of Dashera, which is also Vijayadashami too, we can see, we are showing you the visuals at how large number of people have gathered here at a ground here in Salt Lake. And there are cultural program, n number of cultural program which are lined up. I believe that lots of guests are waiting, backside of the stage, and they will be performing on stage in a while or two. And on the other hand, this is the glimpses or the sense of Ravana Dahan, which is going to perform here. And these are the visuals and the pulse what we are getting. At the end of this festivity, the biggest festival, Durga Puja, which is being celebrated in all over West Bengal with more, with grandeur every year. And people are, it's a sad time for them also, because it's a moment to goodbye Ma, as we say every year that Abar Esho Ma, that you should come back again. And as the years rolls back, that Ma should come back very soon next year. So these are the prayers which are being raised by the people here in Kolkata during this festival. Back to you.
Getting me that live update. I just want to talk about what's happening behind me, because there's an epic battle right now that's underway between Lord Rama and Ravana. By the way, these actors, extremely seasoned, have done this for years together, which is why you see them playing by the script so clearly and so experienced. You see that coming across on the stage as well. Here on India Today, for the last many days, we've been tracking all of the preparations, all of the excitement over this exact moment, over this grand performance that you see playing out behind me on stage. We spoke to the man that you see right there behind me, the man who's considered to be the epitome of evil today. The story of Dashera, of course, what we all celebrate is the triumph of good over evil. The story of how Lord Ram was triumphant over Ravana. Before I take this across to more of our reporters from across different cities, I want to play out the conversation that we had with Ravana, who you see on the stage there looking angry, with the bow in his hand, looking at the audiences. We spoke to the actor behind the image of Ravana. Let's take a look at that conversation.
प्रभु राम जब रावण का वध करते हैं तो एक तीर वो चलाएंगे, उसके अंदर एक सेट पूरा रावण, कुंभकर्ण और मेघनाथ का पूरा जलाया जाएगा। दूसरे हमारे मुख्य अतिथि हैं सीएम अरविंद केजरीवाल जी। जिस वक्त दूसरा तीर चलाएंगे तो उस वक्त 3 पुतलों का सेट रावण, कुंभकर्ण और मेघनाथ का उसका दहन किया जाएगा। और तीसरे हमारे बीच में हमारे अतिथि हैं अमरेंद्र बाहुबली जो प्रभास हैं। वो जब यहाँ पर आएंगे तो एक तीर वो चलाएंगे, उसके अंदर भी एक सेट रावण, कुंभकर्ण और मेघनाथ के पुतलों का दहन होगा। यही 9 पुतले जो है इस बार लवकुश रामलीला कमेटी ने बनाए हैं। ये कभी संभव नहीं है कि एक अतिथि या एक राम एक तीर चलाए और केवल एक ही उसके अंदर से रावण, कुंभकर्ण या मेघनाथ का वध हो। तो इसलिए 3 सेट बनाए गए हैं। 3 ही हमारे बीच में है, एक प्रभु राम है और 2 हमारे अतिथि हैं।
Okay, so let me get you the live updates right now and show you what's happening on stage, because Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has just reached. He's made his way right behind me, so I'm just going to move across and show you how the Delhi Chief Minister has arrived and is getting set to be seated there and witness all of the, the epic essentially that's playing out on our screens right now. What I also found very interesting is that none of the drama that's playing out right now between Lord Ram and Ravan was paused for the Delhi Chief Minister to enter. He came from a crane, from one of those massive stages that were kept up on top of a crane, and from there descended down and made his way across the stage. So he's seated right there, as you can see behind me. Also, superstar Prabhas is going to be joining him at any moment now on this stage. As you can see, we're getting you the best view that you can get of all the drama that's playing out right now here at the Ramlila Maidan. Any moment now, Prabhas is going to be walking in. Trust us here to get you his first reaction also on all of the festivities here and much, much more. So as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is there will be a moment also when he goes and applies tika on the forehead of Lord Ram and of Lakshman as well. So you can see that right now all of the war, all of the fighting continues behind me. But what I also can't help noticing is that every time there's a victory that Lord Ram enjoys, the whole crowd here erupts with Jai Shri Ram slogans. It is beautiful to see the excitement, the energy back after so many years here at the Ramlila Maidan. Let me take this across to our reporters on the ground as well. I understand that we have Amit Bharadwaj with us here in Delhi. He's also here at the Ramlila Maidan getting me all the updates. We also have our reporter who's with us from Jaipur. If our team can just confirm for me who our reporter is in Jaipur, I'll go across to him immediately to get those updates as well of what's playing out right now. All right, Samarth is with me from Lucknow. So I'll go across to Samarth first. Samarth, what are celebrations looking like in Lucknow? You know, after a 2-year lull, there's excitement back on the streets and on all of these grounds where you're seeing the Ravan Dahan that's going to be happening in just a few moments from now, I'm sure in Lucknow as well.
Well, it will be curtains on a years-old tradition at years-old Ash Bagh, the historic Ramlila ground of Lucknow, because this time in Lucknow, only the effigy of Ravan will be burnt and Meghnath and Kumbhkarn will be spared, as this particular Ramlila committee believes that they haven't done anything wrong, like they in a way tried to convince Ravana not to wage a war against Lord Rama because he is the avatar of Lord Vishnu. But when Ravan disagreed, then being brothers and a son, they had to go into the war, and that's why this time around, after 300 years, because this particular ground where I'm reporting from is known for Ramlila for last 300 years. And let me show you the decoration out here, the stage. What cameraman Neeraj will try to show you from here is the stage, how beautifully this particular stage has been decorated, and it has been given a look of a temple. If you'll read out here, it's written Mere Ram with a symbol of Dhanush. It's clearly, it seems like the Shiv Dhanush that Lord Rama won over to, in a way, marry Sita. And out and above the stage, if you'll see, there are a lot of gods out here. You will see Bajrangbali, you will see Lord Rama, Lord Vishnu, and others as well. But this is the part of the stage but due to heavy rainfall out here, the area where there is sitting arrangement is quite, in a way, submerged out here. So those who will be coming might face some difficulty, and I have been joined by a lot of people out here, and I'll try to talk to them, interact with them. आप लोग आज रामलीला देखने आए हैं, क्या एक्साइटमेंट है?
सर हम लोग रामलीला में यहाँ पे रेगुलर प्रोग्राम्स करते रहते हैं। ये रामलीला जी
कुछ सुनाएंगे?
हाँ बिल्कुल हम सुनाएंगे। आज रामलीला के जो दशहरा का पर्व है, इस पर्व पे एक बहुत ही प्यारा भजन सुनाना चाहता हूँ अपने दर्शकों को। कलयुग बैठा मार कुंडरी, जाऊँ तो मैं कहाँ जाऊँ, अब हर घर में रावण बैठा, इतने राम कहाँ से लाऊं। कलयुग बैठा मार कुंडरी, जाऊं तो।
Okay, Samar, thank you for getting us that report from Lucknow. As you know, you can see in Samar also in his report from Lucknow, you can see that the Dussehra celebrations, the festivities are on in full swing. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is right behind me, along with a slew of other dignitaries on stage there, most of them part of the Ramlila committee. In just moments from now, I just want to pan and show you the Ravana, his eyes lighting up with red lights and blinking there to signify evil, essentially. And like I said at the start of this broadcast, we all know the message of Dashera, the triumph of good over evil. And that will be, in fact, signified and symbolized by the fact that Delhi Chief Minister Kejriwal behind me and Prabhas, who's expected any moment now, will be shooting off an arrow. Whether it lands there or not, you will see the Ravana then going up in flames. And that's the epic moment when everyone here will be cheering together. Let's take this across to Amit Bharadwaj. He's joining me from another vantage point. Amit, happy Dussehra to you. There's a lot of excitement here, obviously. Tell us what you're seeing around you, because where I'm standing, I've got a clear view of the stage. But if you could show us the crowds that have gathered as well.
Happy Dussehra, Akshata, and happy Dussehra to all our viewers. Right now, we are getting the biggest picture of the epic Ramlila, which is playing out at Red Fort. Right there, the ramparts of Red Fort, and after that, you could see this is Ayodhya Temple, the temple which is to come in Ayodhya. In a similar manner, the stage has been prepared, and on that stage, what you see is the final act of war between Lord Rama and the Ravana. Arrows flowing between Rama and Ravana, and on the other side, dignitaries, as you were mentioning, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, along with all the Ramlila ground dignitaries are sitting there. But the final act that everybody is waiting here for is when Rama will, declare his victory over Ravana. And right there on the stage, you could see chanting of Jai Shri Ram going on, and it's very unique in a way that. Arrows are flowing, and right behind it is the stage which has been cut out in form of Ayodhya temple, the big temple, the grand temple that is to come in Ayodhya. Akshata, I'll also request Pawan to roll the camera towards my right to show you a closer picture of Ravan, Meghnad and Kumbhakaran, who are to be set on fire a few minutes from now, any time from now, the moment Prabhas comes in, superstar Prabhas, that is the time when all these effigies that you are seeing, huge grand effigies of Ravana, that will be set on fire. One thing that needs to be noted is that Delhi government has imposed, pollution control measures, and keeping an eye that, usually what we see in Ramlilas, in Ramlila grounds
Amit,
like this one.
Amit, I'm going to come across to you. I'm going to come across to you in just a few moments again. Amit is reporting from another vantage point right where I am. And I have the clearest view that you can get of the stage. I know a lot of you want to see what's playing out right now because it's extremely entertaining and it retells the epic of Ramayana. So let's just show you what's happening on stage there as Lord Ram takes on Ravan.
Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Jai Shri Ram! रावण सज हो जाओ, तुम्हारा कल्याण करने का समय आ गया है.
So you can see there that Lord Ram and Lakshmana are there on stage with their bow and arrow, shooting off arrows on the stage. You can see Ravana on the other side with his army. What you're seeing right now is the stage being set for the moment that we're all so familiar with in the Ramayana. They're setting the stage to explain and show you the rivalry between Ravan's army and Lord Ram's army. What happened, what's led to it. You see also Lord Hanuman there on the stage. So there's an entire dramatization of this epic playing out right now here after 2 years because of COVID. This epic event had been stalled, but now you see all of these characters coming back to life on stage here, and the excitement is palpable on the ground as well. Even as this ends, once you see this entire sequence, this play coming to an end, and this narration of the beautiful story of Ramayana, you're going to be then seeing that event of Chief Minister Kejriwal and Prabhas lighting the Ravana effigies ablaze. That is what the crowd here has gathered to see. Besides this moment where you see Lord Ram and Lakshman walking around, indulging in also fight with Ravan's army, there will be a moment when Kejriwal also gets up from here and then applies the tika on Lord Ram's forehead. That will be an epic moment also to watch out for. But I can tell you that from almost this afternoon, from 3 p.m. since when I've been here, I've been seeing people coming in, queuing in to ensure that they can get their seats as soon as possible and witness this amazing annual event that you see here in the national capital. You can see Lord Ram and Lakshmana on stage there, along with the entire army. Lord Hanuman also on stage there. Many of them indulging in their own, in fact, battles on stage there. Now, in a few moments from now, you're going to be seeing the appearance of Sita as well. That's a moment everyone in the crowd is waiting for because they haven't had a chance to glimpse or get a glimpse of Sita yet. But like I said, what really is the highlight of, in fact, this entire event is what you're seeing right now on your screens. There you have Lord Rama and Lakshman posing right in front of the stage here. And from the other side, what I've seen also is many people gathering on the base of the stage, hoping to catch one of the arrows that Lord Rama actually shoots off from the stage. Ravana too is there on stage with a bow and arrow in his hand, trying to target, in fact, Lord Ram's army, Lord Ram's men. But as all of this epic drama plays out here on your screens, to the right of the stage is where Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is seated. As I mentioned earlier, President Murmu was also expected to be here yesterday. Last evening is when we got the communication that she's not going to be there. And so that meant that we have two chief guests here, one of them being superstar Prabhas. Now, as in fact all of this plays out on your screens, let's show you also glimpses, and we've been getting you those glimpses of how celebrations are happening currently across the country. And in most parts, you'll see exactly what we're showing you right now here at the Ramlila Maidan, in different versions, different scales, different scenes of the Ramayana that you'll see playing out. But I've also noticed here, as we've been seeing and watching this entire, amazing epic playing out on in front of our eyes, I can tell you that this is better than anything I've ever seen in the movies. We've all seen the story of Lord Ram. We've all seen the stories of the rivalry between Lord Ram and Ravana. But it's very, very different from what you see at this point in fact, when you see it play out here on stage. I also want to briefly cut into what's happening at Mysuru, because again, Dussehra, Vijayadashmi is a huge deal in Mysuru as well. So as I get you these images from Ramlila Maidan, I just want to briefly cut across live to Mysuru, where there's a huge celebration at the Mysuru Palace. Karnataka Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai is also there currently. We are going to get you the updates of what's happening there, because you saw this huge celebration, a puja also that happened for the last many days at the Mysuru Palace. And all of it culminating right now at the Mysuru Palace, which is so beautifully lit up. I'm not sure if the Karnataka Chief Minister is currently speaking, but we are going to be getting you the update updates of what's happening in Mysuru as well, with a reporter as well, to get you some of the action, some of the excitement in Mysuru, because I can tell you, in Mysuru, the city, it completely lights up during this period of Navaratri. And today, on this day of Dussehra, it's an unmissable experience to be in the city of Mysuru, because the whole city is lit up. There's a festive mood all around. And much like many other parts of the country, we saw a very, very small version of the festivities that we usually see for the last 2 years. So it's back with a bang this particular year. Of course, there's a lot of political significance also behind it, considering we're talking about an election in Karnataka, but we'll keep that aside for the moment, because we only want to focus on all the festivities, all of the love, laughter all around us this Dussehra. And very, very importantly, I'm going to keep repeating myself, because that's what Dussehra is all about, right? The spirit of good over evil, the triumph of good over evil. So that's what we're going to keep highlighting here on India Today, away from all the politics, the significance, the symbolism, etc. So on one hand, you have grand celebrations in Mysuru. On the other, here in the national capital where I'm standing at the Ramlila Maidan, it's been transformed here into what looks like a scene out of the Ramayana right behind me. And as I get you these latest images from, in fact, across the country and from here in the national capital, as I enjoy these scenes that are playing out, you can hear the Jai Shri Ram slogans behind me that continues through, in fact, through the entire scene that we've been through, this entire event that we've been witnessing for quite some time now. We've been seeing these moments playing out where everyone chants Jai Shri Ram together. The moment Lord Ram emerges triumphant over Ravana in every scene, in every part. Let's also get you all of the images coming in right now from across the country of the Dussehra celebrations, focusing first on the images that have come in from Mysuru, where after the pandemic, people have thronged the city. It turns into a tourist destination during this time of the year. And people came together to witness the Jambu Savari and much, much more across the streets of Mysuru, which has been lit up beautifully, particularly the iconic Mysuru Palace. Now, as I mentioned, every part of the country is in a festive spirit. Let's show you these images from Assam, where Vijayadashmi celebrations also, in fact, were witnessed in the state. People coming together to take part in the festivities in full fervor. You had politicians, the chief minister, all of them also expressing their wishes on this occasion. Okay, let's get you the images also from Ranchi, where again you're seeing these massive Dussehra celebrations. What's beautiful really to see in all of these images is how unique the celebrations of Dussehra is in every part of the country. With those images, I'm slipping into a very, very short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure you've been mesmerized by what I've been showing you also behind us here on stage as the epic plays out. Any moment now, Sita is also going to be coming onto the stage. And as we get you these amazing images, and as I run you through what's happening on stage here, we will slip into a very short break. Coming up on the other side, all the live updates and all the latest on the Dussehra festivities. Don't go anywhere.
Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner, and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Welcome back. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime, and let's get you all the images that are coming in right now. You can see the chants of Jai Shri Ram ringing in the air where I am currently at the Ramlila Maidan. Let me take you through a fact as we get you these images coming in right now of how everyone is celebrating on stage with amazing sort of visual effects that you see here on the stage. I want to get your focus quickly to what's happening in Maharashtra, where the contest is a Dussehra contest essentially to prove who's the real Sena between the Shinde Sena and the Uddhav Sena. So as I get you these images of everyone chanting Bharat Mata Ki Jai, I will focus briefly on Maharashtra because both Uddhav and Eknath Shinde are ready to hold a show of strength rally. Uddhav Thackeray will hold the rally at Shivaji Park, where Sena has held a rally on Dashhera every year since 1996. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde will hold a rally at the exact same time. But because he didn't get permission at the Shivaji ground, he's going to be holding it at the MMRDA grounds in Bandra Kurla complex. Preparations are on in full swing at both the venues, where the leaders will take up stage and most likely launch a fresh attack on each other. Days ahead of, in fact, the rallies, the two factions engaged in a video war, with both sides claiming to be the true heirs of Sena founder Bal Thackeray's legacy. Shiv Sena MP Krupal Tumane has claimed that more MPs and MLAs from the Uddhav faction will join the Shinde camp today.
अधर्म बड़े से बड़े ज्ञानी बड़े से बड़े योद्धा को गलत राह पे ले जाता है.
And that's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Thanks very much for tuning in. Again, here's wishing all of you a very, very happy Dashhera. I'm going to leave you with the beautiful images that are playing out right here behind me on stage of the epic Ramayana as Lord Ram is speaking to the people, to his people on this day. That's all we have time for. Thanks very much for tuning in. Good night.
किंतु भैया वो अहंकारी था. इस अहंकारी से मैं क्या ज्ञान ले सकता हूँ? जिस रावण को खुद का ज्ञान ना हो, वो भला मुझे क्या ज्ञान देगा?
जाओ लक्ष्मण.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Justice, liberty, equality, the pillars that built India. A nation where everyone has dignity and opportunities to prosper. But today, over 75 years after independence, Dalits remain a community trapped for centuries by the caste system, languishing in a dismal state. Nearly 20% of India's population is Dalit. Dalits still live in abject poverty, excluded on the margins, facing atrocities, toxic untouchability, and no opportunities for economic upliftment. The father of India's constitution, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, fought all his life for the upliftment of Dalits. In the past, many state and central governments have made big promises, but it has been nothing more than lip service. Basic human rights have still not been delivered. Dalits remain downtrodden and discriminated against. This shocking reality is a national shame. Few have dared to break the cage of caste discrimination until now. Friend to the downtrodden, upholding human rights and dignity, championing Ambedkar's India, KCR is showing India and the world our revolution is sparked in Telangana through his path-breaking scheme, Telangana Dalit Bandhu. Approximately 17,50,000 Dalit families call Telangana home, and now they are calling Telangana the land of opportunity. Thanks to Dalit Bandhu, launched in 2021 by the TRS government, a world-first scheme which will give each Dalit family an astounding financial boost of 10 lakh rupees. There are many more schemes along with this which are under implementation all over the state. But Dalit Bandhu is a specially designed program for the upliftment of the Dalit community. It has an unprecedented objective to uplift 17,50,000 Dalit households with a one-time capital grant of 10 lakh rupees per household, 100% subsidy with zero repayment, delivered via direct-to-beneficiary transfer, with a dedicated Dalit Bandhu scheme help desk and monitoring committee at village, mandal, district and state level, and a 10% reservation for Dalits in profit-generating schemes, government contracts and licenses. In addition to this, Telangana has another visionary program for Dalit students, residential schools and colleges, and Ambedkar Overseas Vidya Nidhi, a 20 lakh rupees overseas scholarship, giving them the most powerful tool for success, education. Huzurabad, 2021. The Telangana Dalit Bandhu pilot was launched. Telangana's Dalit Bandhu is a path-breaking scheme that places absolute trust in the beneficiary. Each household has complete freedom and flexibility to decide its business and how to grow their dreams.
నేను వచ్చేసి ఫార్మసీ చదివాను సార్. దాని తర్వాత యాజ్ ఏ ఫార్మసిస్ట్గా చాలా ప్లేస్లో చేశాను సార్. ఎప్పుడైతే మన తెలంగాణ గవర్నమెంట్ ఈ దళిత బంధు పెట్టిందో అప్పుడు ఇంకా నేను నాకు ఎప్పటి నుంచో నా ఓన్గా బిజినెస్ పెట్టుకున్నామని నాకు అంతకుముందే ఉండేది సార్. మన టీఆర్ఎస్ గవర్నమెంట్ దళిత బంధు స్కీమ్ ఒకటి పెట్టి నా ఓన్గా నేను సెటిల్ కావడానికి ఒక ఆపర్చునిటీ క్రియేట్ చేసింది సార్.
Households were identified as beneficiaries and the direct benefit transfer of 10 lakh rupees was made. Each family unit was free to decide how they wished to invest this 100% subsidy. It could be a single or multiple businesses. Multiple beneficiaries could pool their resources to build a bigger business. It could be in any sector of their choice. the sky was the limit. In no time, the stories of transformation began rolling in. These are just a small fraction of the 40,000 success stories that Telangana has empowered through the Dalit Bandhu scheme. In just 1 year, it has smashed records for any Dalit upliftment scheme in the country. Till date, the Dalit Bandhu scheme has been implemented in all 119 assembly constituencies in Telangana. Beneficiaries have achieved prosperity for their families. They have also created opportunity for their community by providing employment and revenue. The resounding success of the Dalit Bandhu scheme has energized the TRS government to accelerate its efforts. From 40,000 beneficiaries with an outlay of 4,441.8 crore rupees, now Telangana government has raised the Dalit Bandhu budget to reach about 2 lakh beneficiaries with an outlay of 17,700 crore rupees, making this the world's largest direct benefit scheme.
దళిత బంధు వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ 10 లక్షలు అనేది మామూలుగా అందరికీ ఆపర్చునిటీ రాదు. ఇది పూర్తిగా గవర్నమెంట్ వాళ్ళు మాకు 10 లక్షలు ఇచ్చేసి మీ ఇష్టం ఉన్న వ్యాపారాన్ని పెట్టుకో అని చెప్పేసి అనడం వల్ల మాకు ఇంత ఆర్థిక పురోగతి కలిగింది. అదే కాకుండా మేము ఇంతకుముందు ఒక దగ్గర వర్కర్గా పనిచేసిన వాళ్ళం ఇప్పుడు ఓనర్గా ఉండగలుగుతున్నాం.
Never before has such a revolutionary scheme been designed to end caste discrimination, where Dalits receive 100% opportunity along with 100% dignity.
దళిత బంధు పథకం రాకముందు మేమైతే చాలా స్ట్రగుల్స్ ఫేస్ చేసాము. దళిత బంధు పథకం కింద మేము ఈ ఎంబ్రాయిడరీ మిషన్ ఎంచుకొని పెట్టుకున్నాము. నేర్చుకున్న వరకునే నేను ఫుల్ఫిల్ చేయాలనుకొని ఈ ఎంబ్రాయిడరీ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను సార్. ఇచ్చినందుకు చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు కేసీఆర్ గారికి, తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వానికి కూడా మేము ఎంతో రుణపడి ఉన్నాము.
ముగ్గురం కలిసి ఒక యూనిట్ పెట్టాము. అంటే 30 lakhs పెట్టి ఒక వెహికల్ను ఇప్పుడు అమెరికన్ టూరిస్ట్ షాప్ పెట్టాము. బాగానే నడుస్తుంది ఇప్పుడైతే. అంటే నేను జాబ్ చేసేవాడిని, ఇప్పుడు ఓనర్గా అంటే ఒక కంపెనీ ఓనర్గా ఇప్పుడు ఫీల్ అవుతున్నా. చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది.
జీవనోపాధిగా మిషన్ కుట్టుకుంటూ బ్రతికేదాన్ని సార్. మాకు 3 పిల్లలు, వాళ్ళని చదివించుకుంటూ మేము బ్రతకాలంటే చాలా కష్టమైంది సార్. ఇప్పుడు దళిత బంధు ద్వారా కేసీఆర్ గారు ఆదుకున్నారు సార్. వాళ్ళు ఇద్దరం కలిసి పెట్టుకున్నాం సార్ మిషన్. కోయంబత్తూరు నుంచి వెళ్ళి తెప్పించుకున్నాం సార్ మిషన్ను. నాన్ ఓవెన్ బ్యాగ్స్ సార్. మాకు నెలకు 50,000 వరకు వస్తాయి సార్. 3 జీతాలు 50,000 వరకు వస్తాయి సార్.
For Telangana's leadership, it's not about breaking records, but about ensuring financial freedom for all. Each Dalit Bandhu grant of 10 lakh rupees has an inbuilt 10,000 rupees safety net, Dalita Rakshana Nidhi, to ensure that all Dalit families get financial assistance from the fund at times of distress. To further strengthen this, Telangana government contributes additional 10,000 rupees, which is over and above each grant. A great safety net that has no parallel anywhere in the world. For the KCR government, this is more than just a financial benefit. If any beneficiary of Dalit Bandhu meets with fatal disease or accident, the family should not go through additional depression and hard times. They should remain protected. That is the true purpose of the special safety net designed as Dalita Rakshana Nidhi.
కేసీఆర్ సార్ ఇంత పెద్ద స్కీమ్ తీసుకురావడం అనేది చాలా గొప్ప విషయం సార్. మాలాంటి వాళ్ళకి ఓన్గా ఒక కంపెనీ పెట్టి ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ కావాలనుకునే వాళ్ళ కోసం ఇది గోల్డెన్ ఆపర్చునిటీ.
అదే కాకుండా దళితులు అంటే సమాజంలో అందరికీ చిన్న చూపుగానే ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఇవ్వడం వల్ల
సారు దళిత బంధు ఇచ్చి మమ్మల్ని ఎంతో ఆదుకున్నారు సార్. మాకు మరో అంబేద్కర్ గారు సారు మాకైతే మాటల్లో చెప్పలేము. ఆయనకు మాకు ఎంతో బతుకునిచ్చిండ్రు అసలు.
Under the fearless leadership of KCR, Dalits finally have a government that protects and defends them. Telangana inspires them to overcome oppression and empowers them to be bold, so that each Dalit can move up in the world with head held high, creating their own success story, making Telangana shine, and in turn, India.
Scroll, scroll, scroll. Is that what you do all day? A study says that excessive use of social media can develop depression in young adults. The study was published in the Journal of Affective Disorders Reports. It says that young adults who use social media more are likely to develop depression within 6 months, and this is regardless of their personality type. Previous research has linked depression with many other factors, including social media. This study addresses the important research questions, finding strong and linear associations of depression across all personality traits. In 2018, the study took a sample of more than 1,000 young adults from America aging between 18 and 30. Depression was measured using the Patient Health Questionnaire. Social media was measured by asking participants how much daily time was spent using popular social media platforms, and personality was measured using the Big Five inventory. This assessed openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. The authors suggest that social comparison can enhance negative feelings in one. This could explain how depression increases with prolonged use of social media. Another reason could be indulging in negative content. Finally, engaging more on social media reduces opportunities for in-person or social interactions. The study was published by Renee Merrill. She said findings from the study are important during a time of technology expansion and integration. Connecting to people virtually may increase the risk of miscommunication or misperception that leads to relationship difficulties and potential risk for developing mental health problems.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
In association with SBI Home Loans, Audiatron,
You are watching India Today.
Right here, the live visuals coming in from Pragati Maidan. We're seeing a massive event, Dussehra celebration by Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal there, firing at the effigy of Ravana. Live visuals that we've been tracking right here on India Today. A huge Dussehra festivities unrolled. In fact, it's been rolled out by Arvind Kejriwal at the Ramlila Maidan. These are visuals of Dussehra festivities along with superstar Prabhas as well, who's just about arriving at the Ramlila Maidan for this huge Dussehra festival celebrated today. Arvind Kejriwal waving at the crowds and the effigies of Ravana all set to be fired up. In fact, just moments ago, Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal there, fired at the Ravana's effigy. Those are the live visuals that we bring to you from Ramlila Maidan, where this celebration is all about celebrating victory over evil.
बहुत कम संस्थाएं ऐसी होंगी जो 100 वर्ष अपने पूरे कर पाती होंगी। हमने ये 100 वर्ष पूरे किए, भगवान से कामना करते हैं।
Right, live visuals there of Ramlila Maidan, where we see huge festivities, Dussehra festivities taking place with Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Mega event there, which shows how good trumps over evil. 10-day-long festival of Dussehra there, the first that in fact will end today with this grand celebration at the Ramlila Maidan, where we see huge festivities with people gathered in numbers who've come by to witness the effigies of Ravana burning. Really, Dussehra, one of the major Hindu festivals, celebrated right towards the end of Navratri, and today marking the celebration of victory, basically good over evil. This celebration has been rolled out at the Ramlila Maidan in Delhi, the biggest of its kind in the national capital, with Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister, in presence, along with superstar Prabhas, who's also there to take part in these huge festivities at the national capital. In fact, this event that happens, Ramlila Maidan, Dussehra celebrations, iconic, happens year on year. Large effigies of Ravana, Meghanath and Kumbhakaran all burnt down in a sign to celebrate good over evil. And these are the live visuals that came in. In fact, it's been at least an hour now.
बोलो सियापति रामचंद्र जी की पवन पुत्र।
Live visuals coming in of Dussehra festivities happening at the Ramlila Maidan. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who is currently present. This is a huge moment for those celebrating Dussehra, because this is possibly the biggest Dussehra festivities that happens in the national capital. Large crowds there who've gathered to take a good look at all the effigies of Ravana, Meghanath and Kumbhakaran being burnt down as a symbolic message to show good triumphing over evil. In fact, Dussehra festivities that's taking place currently at the Ramlila Maidan also has Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister, and Telugu actor Prabhas, who's just going to be joining in just moments from now. These are live visuals coming in from the Ramlila Maidan. Arvind Kejriwal celebrating with hordes of people who've landed up at the Ramlila Maidan to witness these huge life-size effigies of Ravana, of Kumbhakaran being burnt down.
भारी संख्या में आप सब लोग अपने अपने परिवार के साथ रामलीला देखने आए हुए हैं। ये बहुत जरूरी है। मेरे को याद है बचपन में हर साल रोज हम रामलीला देखने जाया करते थे। इससे हमें एक तरफ अपनी संस्कृति के साथ जुड़ते हैं और दूसरा भगवान राम के जीवन से हमें बहुत संदेश मिलता है। बच्चों में अच्छे गुण आते हैं। आप सोचो भगवान राम कितने बड़े त्यागी पुरुष थे। अगले दिन सवेरे उनका राज्याभिषेक होने वाला, राजा बनने वाले थे, और पिछले दिन रात को राजा दशरथ ने उनको अपने कमरे में बुलाया और माता कैकेयी कहती हैं कि 14 वर्ष के लिए वनवास चले जाओ। सारी अयोध्या की जनता भगवान राम के साथ थी। अगर वो चाहते तो वो कह देते मैं तो नहीं जाता, मैं तो राजा बनूंगा, और जनता उनका साथ देती। लेकिन भगवान राम तो राम थे, भगवान थे। उन्होंने 2 मिनट भी नहीं सोचा। 2 मिनट के अंदर उन्होंने निर्णय ले लिया, सारा राजपाट त्याग के और 14 वर्ष वनवास के लिए चल पड़े। ऐसे थे अपने भगवान राम। तो मेरी आप सब लोगों से गुजारिश है, दिल्ली के सब लोगों से, देश के लोगों से गुजारिश है, आजकल टीवी का जमाना है, टीवी तो देखो, मैं मना नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन रामलीला अपने बच्चों के साथ आके रामलीला के मैदान में ही देखनी चाहिए, टीवी की बजाय अपने यहाँ पे आके देखनी चाहिए, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है। आप सब लोग आए हो, आपको सबको भगवान बहुत खुश रखे, स्वस्थ रखे, अपनी पूरी दिल्ली की प्रगति हो, अपने देश का पूरे विश्व में नाम हो, हमारा देश दुनिया का सर्वश्रेष्ठ राष्ट्र बने, दुनिया का सबसे शक्तिशाली राष्ट्र बने, ऐसा मेरा सपना है। बोल सियावर रामचंद्र महाराज की।
दिल्ली के लाडले, हम सबके सुख दुख का ध्यान रखने वाले, गरीबों के मसीहा, देश की भावी उम्मीदें।
All right, huge celebrations there at the Ramlila Maidan in Delhi, one of the biggest, as we witness the effigies of Ravana being burnt down. This is a message that goes out that good triumphs over evil. These are live visuals that we bring to you. Prabhas, the Telugu actor, all set to arrive there in just moments from now. We're going to continue tracking those visuals. For now, we're slipping into a short break. We'll be right back. Do stay tuned.
Watching India Today.
The COVID-19 pandemic has forced us to do a rethink on how we lead our lives, to think about what we are doing to our bodies and to our health, and also wellness, because it is time now to go back to the basics. It is time to talk about your food, your sleep habits, your gut health, stress, and much more. And that exactly is what our brand new health show, Health 360, is going to do at these times only on India Today TV.
You know Kim Tae-hyung, aka V of pop group BTS fame? Well, he's simultaneously 26, 27 and 28 years old. Confused? How old were you when you were born? 0? 1? In South Korea, you'd be 1 year old. Let's clear the air about this. South Korea has a unique way of calculating age. When a baby is born, it's considered a year old. And as the year changes on January 1st, the child gains a year. So no special birthdays. South Koreans count age based on their birth year and not days. A child born in December will already be 2 by January. But the president-elect Yoon Suk-yeol wants to do away with this traditional system. Because of persistent confusion and unnecessary social and economic costs, the incoming administration is looking to standardize age calculation. This was observed especially when health authorities use the international age and Korean ages interchangeably to set guidelines for COVID-19. This will also help South Korea get in line with the rest of the world. The age conundrum doesn't end here. South Korea also counts age in an international way. That means it counts age in 3 ways. For legal and administrative purposes, the country has been using the international counting system since 1962. In another way, babies are born at 0 and gain a year on New Year's. This method is mainly used to define the legal age for areas of law that affect a significant percentage of the population, including military service conscription. And the third is the Korean age system, where everyone is already a year old at birth and become older on New Year's Day regardless of the birth date. That's how Kim Tae-hyung from BTS fame is simultaneously 26, 27 and 28 years old, as he was born on 30th December 1995. There are multiple problems that arise with age discrepancies. It's led to wage disputes that have been dragged to the Supreme Court and ruled that workers should consider their international age for work. There have also been cases of parents trying to cheat the birth registration system because of worries that their children born in December will be at a disadvantage at school as a result later in life. Efforts were made in 2019 and 2021 to change the law. 2 lawmakers proposed legislation to adhere to the international age, but experts are divided on what the new measure means for Korean society, and the bills were not signed into law.
Watching India Today.
Justice, liberty, equality, the pillars that built India. A nation where everyone has dignity and opportunities to prosper. But today, over 75 years after independence, Dalits remain a community trapped for centuries by the caste system, languishing in a dismal state. Nearly 20% of India's population is Dalit. Dalits still live in abject poverty, excluded on the margins, facing atrocities, toxic untouchability, and no opportunities for economic upliftment. The father of India's constitution, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, fought all his life for the upliftment of Dalits. In the past, many state and central governments have made big promises, but it has been nothing more than lip service. Basic human rights have still not been delivered. Dalits remain downtrodden and discriminated against. This shocking reality is a national shame. Few have dared to break the cage of caste discrimination until now. Friend to the downtrodden, upholding human rights and dignity, championing Ambedkar's India, KCR is showing India and the world our revolution is sparked in Telangana through his path-breaking scheme, Telangana Dalit Bandhu. Approximately 17,50,000 Dalit families called Telangana home, and now they are calling Telangana the land of opportunity. Thanks to Dalit Bandhu, launched in 2021 by the TRS government, a world-first scheme which will give each Dalit family an astounding financial boost of 10 lakh rupees. There are many more schemes along with this which are under implementation all over the state. But Dalit Bandhu is a specially designed program for the upliftment of the Dalit community. It has an unprecedented objective to uplift 17,50,000 Dalit households with a one-time capital grant of 10 lakh rupees per household, 100% subsidy with zero repayment, delivered via direct-to-beneficiary transfer, with a dedicated Dalit Bandhu scheme help desk and monitoring committee at village, mandal, district and state level, and a 10% reservation for Dalits in profit-generating schemes, government contracts and licenses. In addition to this, Telangana has another visionary program for Dalit students, residential schools and colleges, and Ambedkar Overseas Vidya Nidhi, a 20 lakh rupees overseas scholarship, giving them the most powerful tool for success, education. Huzurabad 2021. The Telangana Dalit Bandhu pilot was launched. Telangana's Dalit Bandhu is a path-breaking scheme that places absolute trust in the beneficiary. Each household has complete freedom and flexibility to decide its business and how to grow their dreams.
నేను వచ్చేసి ఫార్మసీ చదివాను సార్. దాని తర్వాత యాజ్ ఏ ఫార్మసిస్ట్గా చాలా ప్లేస్లో చేశాను సార్. ఎప్పుడైతే మన తెలంగాణ గవర్నమెంట్ ఈ దళిత బంధు పెట్టిందో అప్పుడు ఇంకా నాకు ఎప్పటి నుంచో నా ఓన్గా బిజినెస్ పెట్టుకున్నామని నాకు అంతకుముందే ఉండేది సార్. మన టీఆర్ఎస్ గవర్నమెంట్ దళిత బంధు స్కీమ్ ఒకటి పెట్టి నా ఓన్గా నేను సెటిల్ కావడానికి ఒక ఆపర్చునిటీ క్రియేట్ చేసింది సార్.
Households were identified as beneficiaries and the direct benefit transfer of 10 lakh rupees was made. Each family unit was free to decide how they wished to invest this 100% subsidy. It could be a single or multiple businesses. Multiple beneficiaries could pool their resources to build a bigger business. It could be in any sector of their choice. The sky was the limit. In no time, the stories of transformation began rolling in. These are just a small fraction of the 40,000 success stories that Telangana has empowered through the Dalit Bandhu scheme. In just 1 year, it has smashed records for any Dalit upliftment scheme in the country. Till date, the Dalit Bandhu scheme has been implemented in all 119 assembly constituencies in Telangana. Beneficiaries have achieved prosperity for their families. They have also created opportunity for their community by providing employment and revenue. The resounding success of the Dalit Bandhu scheme has energized the TRS government to accelerate its efforts. From 40,000 beneficiaries with an outlay of 4,441.8 crore rupees, now Telangana government has raised the Dalit Bandhu budget to reach about 2 lakh beneficiaries with an outlay of 17,700 crore rupees, making this the world's largest direct benefit scheme.
దళిత బంధు వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ 10 లక్షలు అనేది మామూలుగా అందరికీ ఆపర్చునిటీ రాదు. ఇది పూర్తిగా గవర్నమెంట్ వాళ్ళు మాకు 10 లక్షలు ఇచ్చేసి మీ ఇష్టం ఉన్న వ్యాపారాన్ని పెట్టుకో అని చెప్పేసి అనడం వల్ల మాకు ఇంత ఆర్థిక పురోగతి కలిగింది. అదే కాకుండా మేము ఇంతకుముందు ఒక దగ్గర వర్కర్గా పనిచేసిన వాళ్ళం ఇప్పుడు ఓనర్గా ఉండగలుగుతున్నాం.
Never before has such a revolutionary scheme been designed to end caste discrimination, where Dalits receive 100% opportunity along with 100% dignity.
దళిత బంధు పథకం రాకముందు మేమైతే చాలా స్ట్రగుల్స్ ఫేస్ చేసాము. దళిత బంధు పథకం కింద మేము ఈ ఎంబ్రాయిడరీ మిషన్ ఎంచుకొని పెట్టుకున్నాము. నేర్చుకున్న వరకునే నేను ఫుల్ఫిల్ చేయాలనుకొని ఈ ఎంబ్రాయిడరీ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను సార్. ఇచ్చినందుకు చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు కేసీఆర్ గారికి, తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వానికి కూడా మేము ఎంతో రుణపడి ఉన్నాము.
ముగ్గురం కలిసి ఒక యూనిట్ పెట్టాము. అంటే 30 lakhs పెట్టి ఒక వెహికల్ను ఇప్పుడు అమెరికన్ టూరిస్ట్ షాప్ పెట్టాము. బాగానే నడుస్తుంది ఇప్పుడైతే. అంటే నేను జాబ్ చేసేవాడిని, ఇప్పుడు ఓనర్గా అంటే ఒక కంపెనీ ఓనర్గా ఇప్పుడు ఫీల్ అవుతున్నా. చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది.
జీవనోపాధిగా మిషన్ కుట్టుకుంటూ బ్రతికేదాన్ని సార్. మాకు 3 పిల్లలు, వాళ్ళని చదివించుకుంటూ మేము బ్రతకాలంటే చాలా కష్టమైంది సార్. ఇప్పుడు దళిత బంధు ద్వారా కేసీఆర్ గారు ఆదుకున్నారు సార్. వాళ్ళు ఇద్దరం కలిసి పెట్టుకున్నాం సార్ మిషన్. కోయంబత్తూరు నుంచి వెళ్ళి తెప్పించుకున్నాం సార్ మిషన్ను. నాన్ ఓవెన్ బ్యాగ్స్ సార్. మాకు నెలకు 50,000 వరకు వస్తాయి సార్. 3 జీతాలు 50,000 వరకు వస్తాయి సార్.
For Telangana's leadership, it's not about breaking records, but about ensuring financial freedom for all. Each Dalit Bandhu grant of 10 lakh rupees has an inbuilt 10,000 rupees safety net, Dalita Rakshana Nidhi, to ensure that all Dalit families get financial assistance from the fund at times of distress. To further strengthen this, Telangana government contributes additional 10,000 rupees, which is over and above each grant. A great safety net that has no parallel anywhere in the world. For the KCR government, this is more than just a financial benefit. If any beneficiary of Dalit Bandhu meets with fatal disease or accident, the family should not go through additional depression and hard times. They should remain protected. That is the true purpose of the special safety net designed as Dalita Rakshana Nidhi.
కేసీఆర్ సార్ ఇంత పెద్ద స్కీమ్ తీసుకురావడం అనేది చాలా గొప్ప విషయం సార్. మా లాంటి వాళ్ళకి ఓన్గా ఒక కంపెనీ పెట్టి ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ కావాలనుకునే వాళ్ళ కోసం ఇది గోల్డెన్ ఆపర్చునిటీ.
అదే కాకుండా దళితులు అంటే సమాజంలో అందరికీ చిన్న చూపుగానే ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఇవ్వడం వల్ల
సారు దళిత బంధు ఇచ్చి మమ్మల్ని ఎంతో ఆదుకున్నారు సారు. మాకు మరో అంబేద్కర్ గారు సారు మాకైతే మాటల్లో చెప్పలేము. ఆయనకు మాకు ఎంతో బతుకునిచ్చిండ్రు అసలు.
Under the fearless leadership of KCR, Dalits finally have a government that protects and defends them. Telangana inspires them to overcome oppression and empowers them to be bold, so that each Dalit can move up in the world with head held high, creating their own success story, making Telangana shine, and in turn, India.
You are watching India Today.
Our world is filled with many scenic, interesting, weird and some creepy places, and we'll tell you about 5 weird islands of the world. This island is in Mexico. The island is surrounded with many dolls across it, and the story begins 50 years ago when only one man used to live there. One night he found a dead girl in the lake along with a doll, so he hung a doll on the tree in memory of her. This is where things got out of hand. He started having many nightmares, and so he hung more dolls around the island. He died in 2001, but the island is visited by tourists quite often. On the island of Socotra, you find trees and plants that are nowhere. Up to a third of this island is endemic. This island is isolated, and it's also called as the most island-looking place on earth. In 2008, this was declared as UNESCO's World Heritage Site. It lies in the Arabian Peninsula, but is considered to be a part of Africa. So when do you plan to visit this place? Off the coast of Dubai are 300 man-made islands. This was made to look like the world. It took $13 billion to build these islands. It was constructed using tons of sand from the Persian Sea. People can buy part of the island and name it even. Its construction was started in 2003 and was completed in 2008. But due to the financial crisis of 2008, these islands weren't bought by many. Now it's just abandoned pieces of land. Is this the cutest island or what? The island is filled with rabbits all around. This place is known as Okushima Island. But let's tell you that behind this cuteness, there's also a dark past. During World War II, this island was built to develop poisonous gas to attack China. Due to the poisonous gases, more than 80,000 soldiers of China died. This island was a secret, and Japan even removed it from the map at that time. Now, this island only has a museum here with many of these cute creatures. It's said that these rabbits were left here by a school and then multiplied into a bunch of them. You know, Maldives is a beautiful, fancy island, but beyond that lies a waste island. It was built to get rid of the waste that was covering the island, and every day around 700 tons of waste was generated. When it was burnt, it would pollute the island and affect tourists. To solve this issue, they made this island. But many believe that it needs to get rid of this waste that's polluting the clean water. These are the 5 weirdest islands that we found on Earth. Do you know about any others? Let us know in the comments.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
You are watching India Today.
The 60s heartthrob. Bollywood's Jubilee Girl. Dada Saheb Phalke Award winner 2022. Asha Parekh exclusive.
Hello and welcome to this India Today special, where we are joined today by a very special person in this festive season. Joining us now is the one and only Asha Parekh, recipient of the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award for Lifetime Achievement in Cinema. Wonderful to see you, Asha ji.
Thank you.
And special because it's also been your birthday week. Happy 80th birthday.
Thank you.
What a lovely gift to get on your 80th birthday.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I said, that it's the best gift in my life on my 80th birthday.
And I was told you got a call at 4 a.m. because you were in the US.
Yes, I was in Boston. I was receiving an award there, a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I was sleeping at about 12:30 in the night, and at 4 o'clock I get a call. I didn't know what was happening. I said, she just said, "Are you Asha Parekh?" I said, 4 o'clock in the morning, you are asking me this question, close the phone. So I banged the phone down. So that poor girl lady then sent a message that I'm from the INB ministry, and that's how I came to know that I was being honored with this.
How did you feel when you first heard Asha Parekh getting the Lifetime Achievement Dada Saheb Phalke Award, an award that has gone to some of the greatest of our cinematic achievers? Did it make you feel that it was all worth it, this long journey?
First and foremost, it didn't sink in. I had to, am I getting it? Is it real? So for 2 days I was, I didn't know whether I was really receiving the award. And then slowly when the press started ringing up and congratulating me, and my fellow artists ringing up and congratulating me, then it dawned upon me that yes, I am getting the award.
It's been a remarkable journey when I look at it. You've done what? Well over several hundred films, but you started off as a child artist?
Yes.
In the early 50s?
Yes.
And then did, of course, Dil Dekhe Dekho, famously, 1959, as a 17-year-old.
Yes.
So it's been a very, very long journey.
Very long journey. Very, very long journey. I did not work after a certain period, but I was still joined with the film industry, with various associations, various trusts. So it was not that I was away from the films. I'm still with the films.
Let's rewind to where it started. Child artist, was that a decision taken by your parents? Was there something were you drawn to cinema?
No, it wasn't like that. I was about 8 or 9. I was performing on the stage, and late Bimal Roy saw me, and after the performance was over, he said, "Please call that girl, I want to see her." So when I went near him, he said, "Will you work in the films?" I said, "Yes." I didn't even think, I didn't know what I was saying. I said, yes, I'll work. So I came back, my parents said, "What did you go and do?" I said yes, to work in the films. So then my mother, who was very supportive, said, "Okay, you like to work? Go ahead." So it was about 5-10 days work in Bab Beti.
So it was, in a way, your dancing skills,
yes,
which attracted Bimal Roy first as a give you a role as a child artist. And then of course come Nasir Hussain with Dil Dekhe Dekho, opposite the one and only Shami Kapoor.
Yes.
That must have been fun, because in that early scene in Dil Dekhe Dekho, you're actually inviting him to a rock and roll club and you're showing your dancing prowess right from day one. Huge hit.
Yes, huge hit. It was a very big hit, and it was released on my birthday.
Wow.
And I still remember the crowds were going all crazy after the show. There was a premiere at Novelty, and it was a hit.
And you shot it in one of the hill stations, Nainital, Ranikhet.
Yes, Ranikhet.
Ranikhet, because there's that lovely song. You want to croon it with me, Dil Dekhe Dekho?
Yes, that was done in Bombay, in Bombay.
But you know, that was the age of hill stations, of romance, and you and Shami Kapoor became this incredible pairing, hit film after hit film. What was it like working with Shami Kapoor?
I used to like working with him. The reason being, he was trained as a classical singer also. So his music was so much in him that when he performed, वो झटके वटके वो लेते थे. That was something which I started learning from him. And I didn't know how to lip sync. To sing a song and lip sync is not easy. So he taught me how to do it. So from that time onwards, and we were shooting in Ranikhet. So one of those days we could not shoot because of the rains. I remember Geeta Bali was there. So what she would do, because I was about 16 years old, she would pick me up and put me on her shoulder and pat me and take me around and tell Shamiji, let's adopt her, let's adopt her. So that's how it was, you know. So then after that I started calling Shami, Shami Chacha and Geeta Chachi.
Arey wow.
That's how it began.
And you were a classical dancer.
Yes.
And there was Shami Kapoor with all his different moves, but you know, it was magic on screen.
Yes, I had to learn. I mean, I had learned jiving, I learned rock and roll. So all this I had to learn because I was a classical dancer. I mean, English dance was not my cup of tea.
But yet you did it and you pulled it off. I remember Teesri Manzil.
Yes.
Aja, Aja.
Ja.
Main hu.
Pyar tera.
Pyar tera. But you know, again, you were sort of, you know, doing all those mixing classical with Western, which I think was one of the reasons why you were such a success. You could do Aan Milo Sajna with Rajesh Khanna doing much more sort of traditional dance and then be with the Shami in Teesri Manzil. Was that, do you think being a dancer gave you a huge advantage in those years?
Yes, it does. It does because you learn, actually I've learned Kathak, Bharatnatyam, I've learned Odissi, I've learned Kuchipudi, and I've learned even Kathakali.
Wow.
Because all these dances were incorporated in my ballets. So the hero of my ballet was a Kathakali guru. So I had to do a Kathakali thing. Then Acharya ji came from Ahmedabad, Malika Sarabai's Guruji. He said, no, I have to teach you and you have to perform on the stage. So I learned Kuchipudi. Then I started a dance school in which the Odissi master was there, so I learned a little bit of Odissi.
Wow.
So that's how I've done all sorts of dances, but dance helps in expressions. Because there's a lot of expression, you are having a lot of expressions depicted in the songs of the old times.
Because that's the one big difference, I think, between a lot of the actors of the 60s in particular, that all of you were trained in some form of classical dance, unlike today's generation, which may have other skills, but can't match your dancing skills.
I feel that we are now aping the West too much. All the dances which the generation today is doing is not our culture. And that's what I miss, that I feel bad about, that in every state of India, there are such beautiful folk dances, classical dances. Why aren't we bringing them out and why are we aping the West? That's one thing which I feel very bad.
You know, you as I keep repeating, fused East and West. You also brought in the sleeveless blouse. in Teesri Manzil, there are sequences there, you are with your sleeveless blouse, which in those days, of course, Sharmila Tagore brought her bikini with Evening in Paris, but all of you were trendsetters in the times in which you lived. So, Was that easy to, coming from a relatively conservative household to sort of break away, sleeveless blouse, or was that part of the 60s?
Part of the 60s, I would say. I would say it was part of the 60s because one thing was there that we had very fine designers who used to design our dresses, and we became trendsetters because we had good dress designers.
Because you could pull off the sari, the churidar kurta, you had your printed blouses, you also had the eyeliner. That became an Asha Parekh trademark, right? There was the sadhana haircut.
Yes.
The famous sadhana, and there was the Asha Parekh eyeliner.
Yes, it was there.
Were you all sort of original in that sense? Sadhana ji, yourself, Wahida Rahman, Vaijanti Mala, all the great actors of that generation, the 50s, 60s, we could go to the Mala Sinad, Meena Kumari. Each one of you had something original about yourselves, right?
Yes, I agree with you because everybody was different. Now it's not that. Do you agree with me?
I guess so. You're saying that I only thought, was there no competition for who's number one? Who gets the maximum hits? I think in 66 or 67, you had a string of hits. Is Sadhana number one? Is it Asha Parekh? Is it Wahida Rahman?
No.
Was there a lot of competition?
No, not at all. Everyone was put in one slot. We had been slotted. So there was no competition as such.
Because you have a great friendship, I know, with Wahida ji and Helen. You all go on holidays together.
Yes.
That must be a riot.
Yes, we enjoy ourselves. We meet. Actually, we were 6.
6 of you? Who were the 6?
Nandaji.
Nandaji.
Sadhana. Shami auntie.
Right.
Helen, Wahida, and me.
And you all would, even during your acting days, always holiday together?
Not acting days because there was no time. But after we stopped working, we all started meeting together and we would go for dinners and we would go to see cinema in the theatres, enjoy ourselves. I remember we had been to the Royal China and after one by one we all entered into the restaurant and people were looking and they were aghast seeing 6 of us together.
Right.
So it was really fun. We do miss our friends a lot, but now we are 3.
And you're 3 of you there, but one of the things in that period was also the use of the hill station, the locales. Shooting in Srinagar in those days must have been very special in films like Aan Milo Sajna.
Yes, Kashmir was a beautiful place and we really enjoyed being there.
Your favorite co-star?
Oh, they were all.
No, come on. Now you're being diplomatic. Someone whom you really love shooting with?
I love to work with Shami Kapoor because, as I said, my first picture, I was with him. So from there onwards, I really enjoyed his company and he had a rare sense of humor. Even Mr. Shashi Kapoor had a rare sense of humor. He would come out with such funny things that it used to make you laugh.
But you did one of your classic roles with Rajesh Khanna, Kati Patang.
Yes.
Which is, memorable. Those scenes with you and Rajesh Khanna together are absolute magic. And he was, of course, becoming the superstar.
The superstar, yes.
What was it like working with him? Because a lot of actors have told me very difficult because he never kept to time. Is that true?
Yes, he was a little difficult when he became a superstar. But his first film was with me, which was Baharon Ke Sapne.
Right, yes.
At that time, he was a very quiet person, He used to come to my plays, very quiet, introvert person. But once he started blooming, he was a different person altogether because he used to be surrounded by girls all the time.
Really?
So once he told me, he says, why do you come early? I said, look, it's a 2 o'clock shift, I have to be there at 2. Don't come so early, I'll come at 4 o'clock, so you come at 4 o'clock. I said, okay, I'll come at 4 o'clock. So we used to manage it, and then we became friends after working in 2-3 films. So it wasn't a very difficult for me to work with him.
There's that unbelievable song, Ye Jo Mohabbat Hai.
Yes.
He's in the rain singing it, and there are these shots of you which are interspersed in that song, which is pure magic, really.
Yes, it's been a very big hit and it still goes on.
It does. But, you know, you mentioned friendship with Shami Kapoor, whom you called Shami Chacha, as you've told us, with Rajesh Khanna as well. But you were never linked in that sense with your co-stars. Somehow the gossip magazines never said Asha Parekh is going out with someone. Did you stay away or from the film industry in general?
I was too, involved with my work plus my stage. So there was no time to think of being involved with anybody at that time, you know. And as such, somebody was involved with somebody. So there was no question of me being involved with somebody. So it's a difficult situation. Because I remember at that time, Rajesh Khanna was going with Anju and Vinod Khanna was going out with Gitanjali.
Yes.
So I used to remember that if the shooting got delayed, these girls would ring up and, you know, create a hangama. So these people would be running out of the set and coming back again, you know, and feeling very upset what to do, you know.
But you do write in your biography, if I may say so, that you did find love, but you chose friendship. You've never revealed that. What did that mean?
Well, I loved a person, and it's not that I'm a very frigid woman that I won't love anybody. I did love somebody, but I realized that marriage was not possible, so marriage didn't happen.
And you never revealed it in all these years?
No, I wouldn't like to reveal it. Why should the family get upset?
You were very private. Were you a very private person off screen? You had your dance, of course, but were you a very private person off screen? You had this lovely little bungalow at Juhu where everyone told me if you ever go to Asha ji's bungalow in those days, she has the best collection of orchids.
Yes, I love orchids, and I got them from Bangkok, and they were very beautiful. I had about 10,000-15,000 plants, but when I sold off my bungalow, I had to, you know, give away. Some people took it away, you know. So that's
but
it.
In a sense, the actors of that period had a lot of interest outside just cinema, right? Particularly in your case, dance, your love for orchids. You all had a life beyond. You even started your own film distribution and production business. So you were not just actors.
Yes, at least I was just not actor only, because I was doing a lot of social work. I was a distributor, I was a producer, director, actor.
Your favorite film? You know, if there's a film that you think defines Asha ji, that you, after all these years, can turn to and say, look, that was my best role.
That's very difficult to say. Very difficult to say, because all the films I worked in, I loved my role, and that's why I worked in them. It's very difficult.
Very difficult?
Very difficult.
2 or 3 which stand out for you?
I worked very hard for Chirag. Unfortunately, the film didn't do well because people did not accept me as a blind girl. So that was one thing which I felt very bad about, because I really put a lot of hard work in the film. Chirag was one film. Do Badan was one film where actually the critics realized that I could act, because everybody thought that I was just a glamour girl. I couldn't act. That's what people said. But after Do Badan, people realized that I could act.
Do you think that you got, in a way, typecast? That, you know, she's the glamour girl, she'll always be there, romancing her heroes. So therefore, some of the serious roles that otherwise went to Amala Sinha, Meena Kumari, great actors, Nutan, you know, that terrific acting generation, meant that you were typecast.
Yes, I was. I was typecast. So that Do Badan shifted the whole thing.
Yeah, and yet, you know, people don't realize the kind of range of roles eventually that you do over a long career. Any regrets after all these years? Something that you would have, would have liked to do that you couldn't? You know, one film critic said that Asha Parekh paved the role for the Zeenat Amans and the Parveen Babis to do the kind of, you know, you gave the liberty that you could do cabaret dances as a mainstream actor, rock and roll. True, in a way.
Yeah, in a way, true. That's true.
Any regrets? इतने लंबे सफर के बाद आपको अब दादा साहेब फाल्के अवार्ड दिया गया है. कोई रिग्रेट, कोई आप अफसोस कि ये चीज़ मैं करना चाहती थी नहीं कर पाई लाइफ में?
ऐसे तो कोई रिग्रेट है नहीं, लेकिन आई वुड हैव लव टू वर्क विद दिलीप कुमार। यूसुफ साहब के साथ काम करने का बहुत मन था, और मैं उनको देखती थी, मेरी बोलती बंद हो जाती थी।
अच्छा।
तो ये हुआ कि फिल्म इंडस्ट्री वेलफेयर नहीं, सिने आर्टिस्ट वेलफेयर ट्रस्ट था हमारा, तो यूसुफ साहब उस वहाँ वो मेंबर थे, उसके ट्रस्टी थे। तो एक दिन मुझे उनसे जाके कुछ शिकायत करनी थी। मैंने सायरा से कहा, मैंने कहा मुझे यूसुफ साहब से मिलना है और मुझे ये कहना है कि मुझे नहीं करना काम। तो कहा कि अच्छी बात है, तुम आ जाओ। तो जैसे ही मैं गई तो यूसुफ साहब बैठे हुए थे, और सायरा ने कहा, देखिए आप बिल्कुल इससे ये मत करिए, वो बहुत डरती है आपसे, एंड शी इज़ इन ऑ ऑफ यू, देखती रहती है आपको, तो आप ज़रा आराम से बात करिए उससे। तो मुझे अजीब सा लगा कि ये क्या बोल रही है यूसुफ साहब को। फिर यूसुफ साहब को मैंने समझाया कि भाई ये चीज़ें हैं, तो कहा नहीं ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, तुम जो कर रही हो ठीक कर रही हो, वही करो तुम। मैंने कहा ठीक है। तो इस तरह से यही रिग्रेट है कि मैंने उनके साथ काम नहीं किया।
You told me before the interview that you almost did a film with the great Guru Dutt.
Yeah, no, as a director.
Yes, as a director.
As a director.
What was that film?
It was supposed to be paprika. It means red chilies, and it was a fabulous subject, but it just didn't happen.
You know, you were lucky in a way that you also were in that age of the 60s where you had all these wonderful directors.
Yes.
How much do you think that you were a director's actor, as were a lot of the actors of that time, that these directors, cinematographers just lifted the level of cinema, you know, Kati Patan kind of film. Just the direction is also wonderful.
Yes. Mr. Shakti Samanta.
Shakti Samanta.
He was a fabulous director. I worked with Mr. S.S. Vasan also, and working with him was also a great thing. I remember there was a song which I was very upset about, because somebody the tunes were the same. The lady who performed, it was a mujra, and here I'm performing for the blind on the stage, and the same music was there. So I went to Mr. Vasan, I said, I don't like the song. So he said, what happened? He said, you hear the song and you hear both the songs, you will realize what I'm saying. And will you believe it? He changed it.
Wow.
So it was great working with Mr. S.S. Vasan. It was great working with Rishikesh Mukherjee also.
Of course.
Yeah, he taught me what editing was. He would say, look, I'm going to cut the shot from here, I'm going to join it from here. So that's how I learnt a little bit of editing also.
Which enabled you to become a director later in your life. Because, you know, the song picturization also. There's one song which is particularly memorable. Caravan?
Yes.
5-minute long sequence?
Yes.
Name the song. Daya, Daya, mein
Kahan Phasi.
Kahan Phasi.
Yes.
You know, that song is a 5-minute long sequence almost.
Yes, yes.
And you pull it off with a classical dance, but also, you know, very filmy.
Yeah, this was a dance in which I was supposed to be not knowing dance.
Right.
So I had to do everything wrong. But it was hilarious and I enjoyed doing it. And it was a difficult song for Asha ji to sing. It was not easy.
And in a way, Asha ji's voice and Asha Parikh's sort of moves were the perfect combination.
Yes, yes.
You know?
Yes. She sang a lot of songs of mine, though Latabai also sang a lot of songs, like Main Tulsi Tere Aangan Ki, Suno Sajna.
Yes.
What a beautiful song. It was all sung by Lata ji.
That's right. So you had the benefit of these both of them, of Asha and Lata. I want to end by asking you, you know, as I said, I've interviewed Wahida ji and Helen earlier. What do the three of you do when you all go on these holidays?
We enjoy, we crack jokes and look after each other, and whatever we want to eat, we eat and enjoy.
And when you look at the new actors of today, any actress or actor that you say wow, is there anyone who really impresses you in the new generation?
Shah Rukh Khan.
You're also a Shah Rukh fan?
Yes, I am. Amir Khan. I like him also very much. I've seen him a little tiny tot, you know, Amir Khan. And I remember with his little hands, he would say adab, you know, so sweetly. So these two are great.
And any heroines?
Heroines, oh, I like Deepika. I love her.
We're a joint mutual Deepika fan club.
Oh, you also?
I think she's terrific.
She's terrific. She's very beautiful.
Ma'am, you're beautiful too.
Thank you for the compliment.
And congratulations once again.
Thank you.
It's a very special honor.
Yes.
And it is for a career that has spanned so many years and decades.
Yes.
Is there one thing you want to say to all your fans today who will be watching this, who may have seen you in Dil Dekhe Dekho, in Caravan, Tisri Manzil, Aan Milo Sajna, Kati Patang? What do you want to tell them today?
Today that you all have always been with me, and please be with me till the end of my life.
Happy 80th birthday once again. And thank you very much for doing this. And I can tell you viewers, before the interview, she gave us the most fantastic coffee.
Oh.
So if you ever meet Asha Parekh, make sure you have her coffee.
Thank you.
Thank you. Woman of style and substance, the one and only Asha Parekh. Thank you, Asha ji, for doing this very special interview for us. And thank you, viewers. The one and only Asha Parekh.
You are watching India Today.
最近の度重なる弾道ミサイルの発射に続く暴挙であり、強く非難をいたします。
by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies. Co-presented by Century Ply, Aag Se Bachai. Co-presented by Macho Hint, Fashion Bade Aaram Se.
Welcome on board the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal here, wishing all our viewers a very happy Dussehra. We're tracking the Home Minister's Mission Kashmir on the show tonight.
Home Minister's big message for Jammu and Kashmir. Shah says won't talk to Pakistan.
जिन्होंने 70 साल तक यहाँ राज किया, वो लोग सलाह देते हैं पाकिस्तान से बात करो। मेरा स्पष्ट मत है, मैं पाकिस्तान से बात करना नहीं चाहता।
Contrast Gupkar model with Modi model.
युवाओं के लिए गुप्कार मॉडल में क्या है? पत्थर है, बंद कॉलेज है, हाथ में मशीन गन है। नरेंद्र मोदी मॉडल में क्या है? IIM है, IIT है, एम्स है, नीट है।
Stage set for elections in J&K. Shah's Mission Kashmir, big focus on news track.
On the last day of his 3-day Mission Kashmir, Home Minister Amit Shah was in the terror hotbed of Baramulla. The Home Minister addressed a rally in the valley, drawing a clear comparison with the Gupkar model and the Modi model of governance. Shah declared that while many want him to talk to Pakistan, he would rather talk to the people of the valley.
Making a symbolic point without a bulletproof shield, Union Home Minister Amit Shah addressing a rally in one of Kashmir's biggest hotbeds of terror, Baramulla. A repeat of what he did last year in Srinagar while on his first visit after the abrogation of Article 370. Amit Shah's public meeting on the third day of his visit to Jammu and Kashmir was the BJP's biggest show of strength in a town hit by terror several times in recent days. Amit Shah launched a scathing attack against the Gupkar alliance. The group of Kashmiri political parties that include the Muftis and Abdullahs were seeking restoration of Jammu and Kashmir's special status.
दो मॉडल है, एक तो मोदी जी का मॉडल है जो विकास, शांति, सद्भाव और रोजगारी देता है, और एक गुपकार मॉडल है। गुपकार मॉडल ने क्या दिया? पुलवामा का अटैक करा दिया। और आज मोदी जी ने क्या करा? पुलवामा में 2000 करोड़ के खर्चे से अस्पताल बनाने का काम किया।
Amit Shah asserted that Prime Minister Modi had made democracy possible at the grassroots levels in the valley with the abrogation of Article 370.
ऐसे ही चुनाव आयोग का मतदाता सूची बनाने का काम समाप्त हो जाएगा। पूरी पारदर्शिता के साथ कश्मीर के अंदर चुनाव करा दिए जाएंगे। आज चुनाव आयोग ने जो डिलिमिटेशन किया है, इसके परिणाम स्वरूप आपके ही नुमाइंदे जीत कर आएंगे। पहले कश्मीर के अंदर जमहूरियत की व्याख्या थी 3 परिवार, 87 विधायक और 6 सांसद, और आज मोदी जी ने 5 अगस्त के बाद जम्मू कश्मीर में जमहूरियत को जमीन तक, गांव तक पहुंचाने का काम किया है।
Ahead of the rally, the Home Minister chaired a meeting of the Unified Command in Jammu and Kashmir in Srinagar. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, top officers of the Army, paramilitary forces, state police and civil administration took part in this high-level meet. The visit has come under criticism from the opposition. Former J&K Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti posted a photo of the locked gate at her residence, alleging she was placed under house arrest during the Home Minister's visit. The J&K police rejected the claim, saying the PDP chief was free to travel, and posted a photograph showing the gate locked from the inside. With Himanshu Mishra in Baramulla and Ashraf Wani in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Home Minister Amit Shah, in the terror hotbed of Baramulla, gave an account of the government's achievements after the abrogation of 370. Just how does the government's report card score? Also, the government seems to be laying the ground for elections after the electoral roll exercise is completed. If there are elections in Jammu and Kashmir, what is the likely political scenario that could emerge? To talk about this and more, I'm joined on the news track on the day of Dusshera by Lieutenant General Syed Ata Hasnain, former General Officer Commanding of the 15 Corps in Srinagar. We have Yashwant Deshmukh, the lead cephalogist at Sea Voter. And for political perspective on this broadcast, I'm joined by Imran Nabi Dar, spokesperson of the National Congress Conference. We've got Rajinder Singh Chib, General Secretary of the Democratic Azad Party, Ravinder Sharma, spokesperson and leader of the Congress, and Shehzad Poonawala from the BJP. Is the Home Minister setting the stage for elections to be held in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir? What could be the scenario that emerges? Shehzad Poonawala, in the comments the Home Minister made in Baramulla this morning, he seemed to be laying the grounds for elections after the final voter list is prepared, which we are told is heading towards its completion. So does that mean that once this winter gets over, sometime in the early part of the second year, possibly with Karnataka, that Jammu and Kashmir could go to polls as well? Is that your plan?
Rahul, first of all, a very happy Vijayadashmi to all your viewers. And what is Vijayadashmi? It is the battle and the fight and the victory of good over evil. And if you see, after the abrogation of Article 370, we have been able to make DDD prevail over PPP. DDD being democracy, decentralization and development over Pakistan Parasti, Parivarwad and Patharbazi. Today, look at the transformation, and we are not heading just towards an election. Of course, election is an important part of the deepening of democracy, but look, the transformation that has taken place after the abrogation of Article 370. First, democracy, Jamhuriyat, was not till the Jameen. It was only till 3 parivars. Only 6 MPs and 87 MLAs would get elected. Today, we have 30,000 people, whether it's the Sthaniya Chunav, whether it's the Tehsil Chunav, whether it's the Panchayat Chunav, whether it's the BDC, DDC, all of these have taken place, and 30,000 elected officials are now today controlling the fate of Jammu Kashmir. First, we had a terror hotspot where we had so many events of Atankwad taking place. Today, it's become a tourism. This year has seen the highest number of tourists in the last 70 years. First, it used to be about Vibhajan. Today, it is about Vikas. In 70 years, we had 15,000 crores of investment. Today, alone after the abrogation of Article 370, we've seen 56,000 crores worth of investment coming in. So this transformation will only happen when an ecosystem of normalization is created. And Rahul, something that is close to your heart, Hindi movies are finally being screened in the Ghati as well. So you can see the transformation that has taken place from Patharbaji and Pakistan Parasti. Today, these Algawwadis who used to control the narrative of Jammu Kashmir, today Yasin Malik has been convicted. Today you have the likes of Salahuddin and their children taken out of government jobs. You have had the back of the Hurriyat broken, and you have today got the people of Jammu Kashmir, the Awam of Jammu Kashmir becoming a stakeholder. And obviously an important part of that process will be further elections. And let me just give you a final example. For so many decades, communities were not given their rights, whether it was the Valmiki Samaj, whether it is the women, or whether it is the Pahadi Samaj. The Pahadi Samaj was recommended to get the status of ST in the 1989 cabinet, but they were denied, and the Congress party and the NC, which had the opportunity to rule so many years and decades, never gave the Pahadi Samaj. Today, the Gujars, the Bakarwals and the Pahadi Samaj, all of them will get their right. This is the transformation. It's not just about election.
My father commanded an army regiment near Baramulla. This has for the longest time been a terror hotbed, and General Hasnain, there is political symbolism. The Home Minister of the country on the day of Vijayadashmi, Dusshera in Baramulla, talking about an ecosystem of normalization.
How much of this, in your view, is the new reality? How much of this is political spin?
See, Rahul, first of all, my greetings to everyone on Vijayadashmi. Yes, very interesting question you asked, and I remember the time when your father was there, and later when he commanded a brigade in the same district in Gurez. Gurez formed a part of Baramulla at that particular time. On 5th of August 2019, if someone had told me that this is going to be the situation 3 years hence, I may not have entirely believed it. I would have said, yes, possibly we'll arrive at that situation somehow, we'll parachute into that situation, we'll create an artificial kind of environment of safety and security. But I am pleased to report today that my ground knowledge, outreach to the people, etc., tells me that a tremendous amount of work has been done on the ground. A tremendous amount of outreach has been done on the ground, and preparedness has been done on the ground. So what is being spoken at Baramulla today is not something entirely hollow. It is lots and lots of work has gone into it, particularly the engagement with the people and different segments of the people. As very correctly said by Purwara Sahab, that different segments of people in Kashmir, particularly the youth, which is the most important segment as far as national security of Kashmir.
But the only way to really gauge that is when there's an election, General Hasnain. Then you'll know whether these youngsters actually show up to vote. You can attempt to engage them, whether they'll come out and vote in the elections is when we'll know whether they actually feel connected with the Indian system.
Let me just complete, Rahul. Yes, you are absolutely 100% right. We can't keep prevaricating on this. Obviously, these frequent visits of the Honorable Home Minister are good. They send a message and they carry a message back. Equally, I think equally is discussed in Delhi also. The Honorable Home Minister is a hands-on man. He likes to get a first-hand report. He's going to attend the Unified Command meeting today, I think. He was already probably attended it, getting inputs from every possible agency. So the problem which people were looking at, perceiving that this may be a little too early that we are moving, perhaps the perception today in my mind which is prevailing is perhaps the right time is just about coming. Geopolitically, we are prepared internationally to send home the right message. The integrated process is almost complete. Politically, yes, it's a challenge. There's lots and lots of groundwork still to be done. But I suppose we have to complete it. We have to take a decision to get into it. Even if there's 30% voting, 20% voting, we must go for it.
Yashwant Deshmukh, what's your best sense at this moment? If elections were to be held, what do you think could be the picture that emerges in these 90 seats that have been created after the completion of the delimitation exercise in Jammu and Kashmir? What's the next government of the Union Territory likely to look like?
Well, Rahul, first of all, happy Dusshera to everyone. And as a professional, Rahul, Kashmir is very, very special for me because I take really pride that I happen to be the first pollster to ever conduct an opinion poll in Kashmir. And that was way back in the mid-90s. And I remember that when we were doing the first ever election poll in Kashmir, the lead of that story was that 82% in the valley fear that the polls will be rigged. That is where we started the lack of trust in the entire process of democratization and the feeling of being anti-Delhi, anti-India in the valley at large. But today when I look at it, and today when I look at the numbers, I genuinely believe that it is the turnout and turnout alone which we have been witnessing already on the rise in the local body, in the local elections over there. That is going to decide the way 370 has impacted a lot. One thing which I really want to underline, Rahul, here is the debate on the delimitation, which some of the politicians from the valley have been presenting as if it's a gross injustice to the valley, which is absolutely not the fact. That's an utter lie. Reason being, Rahul, because of the 370, none of the delimitation exercises were done within the Kashmir state of Jammu and Kashmir, and the seats in the Kashmir valley were wrongly skewed in favor of the valley, while the population balance was always in Jammu. So it was the lack of delimitation which kind of skewed more seats for the valley and lesser seats for the Jammu, which was not the case after 370 when the delimitation was done. So it is now done correctly. it has removed that gross injustice that the region of Jammu has been facing for a really long time. Having said that, Rahul, the overall equation in Jammu and Kashmir still remains very keen, because we will still, whenever it is said it is declared as a full state, it will be state of Jammu and Kashmir. But largely speaking, these two regions actually behave like two different states, or for obvious historical reasons and the demographic profile as we know it. So when you look into Jammu, Rahul, you will still figure out that the prime contest would be between BJP and the Congress, where BJP might have a very strong upper hand at this point of time. But in the case of Valley, it is likely to be a multipolar contest, and particularly with the new entry of Ghulam Nabi Azad Sahab's party, it would be really interesting to see whether the Valley voters still get polarized between the two old parties of National Conference and PDP, or they look for new alternatives. And that is going to decide which way it is going, because BJP, even if it sweeps the entire Jammu region, Rahul, is unlikely to cross the majority mark on
Rajinder
its
Singh
own,
Chib,
even if they
now
sweep
that's
the
the
entire
question.
Jammu
This
region.
is where the role of the Democratic Azad Party becomes so crucial. Is Ghulam Nabi Azad the Trojan horse for the BJP? Will there be some kind of a post-election truck between Azad's new party and his friend, the Prime Minister? Some of that bonhomie we've seen play out in Parliament. Is that really what this election is likely to be about, sir?
Rahul, first of all, let me wish happy Vijayadashmi to all the viewers.
And to you, sir.
And especially to you and all the panelists. The question which you asked me, I am sure one of the panelists before me, he said that the main contest in Jammu will be between BJP and Congress. I don't agree with that. Ultimately, it is going to be contest between BJP and the Democratic Azad Party. So Congress, after the arrival of Janab Ghulam Nabi Azad Sahab on the scene in the JNK, I am sure that Congress is nowhere. It is going to be a keen contest between Democratic Azad Party and the BJP. Secondly, one of the panelists was talking about the delimitation. He said that delimitation has been done rightly now after the abrogation of 370. I think it will be very unfair to connect everything with the abrogation of 370. And even our Honorable Home Minister, he is here for last 3 days in JNK, and what I could gather from his Rajouri speech and the Baramulla speech, whatever development has taken place in JNK, he has connected with the abrogation of 370, which is totally wrong.
No, so my question was different. You are saying it will be Azad versus BJP. My question was, will it be BJP plus Azad after the elections?
No, I'm going to come on that. You said, will there be any alliance, post-alliance after that? I think we will not have any alliance, and we have not thought of any alliance with any party in Jammu and Kashmir. The Democratic Azad Party is going to go alone, independently. The name, the name of the party itself, Azad, doesn't symbolize with Ghulam Nabi Azad. But Azad means having totally independent approach.
That's what PDP and BJP also said before the last elections, and then we saw quite famously what happened between senior Mufti and the BJP at that time. But we leave that for another time. Imran Nabidar, how are the traditional parties which came under attack from the Home Minister, accusing them of Parivarvad, how are they gearing up for this post-delimitation, post-completion of the electoral rolls exercise? Will a party like the NC participate in these elections? How do you think the result could pan out?
First of all, let me congratulate you and congratulate your viewers on this auspicious day. Coming back to the question, I think it's it's too early to actually make presumptions right now. And as elections are nowhere in sight, I think there is no point talking who will have an edge. The point I'm trying to make here is that we have been waiting for the last 4 years for a democratic process to get rolling. Unfortunately, that is not happening. And even today, there is no definite date that is. They have just said that there's the electoral rules and then things will pan out. It was coming back to your second question on Parivarva. I don't understand. I mean, this rhetoric that BJP has been saying all along about family rule and family rule. Are they trying to say that all these institutions who have conducted these elections prior to August 370 were rigged? Are they questioning the Election Commission of India? Are they trying to say that all those elections were past elections? People voted for them, whether it was Umar Abdullah who became the Chief Minister or Dr. Farooq Abdullah or earlier
Question there, Imran Dar, would be whether people in Kashmir, whether youngsters will participate or not in this election. How do you, the big claim of the Home Minister was that things are better post 370, that people in Kashmir feel that things are getting better, there is deeper engagement. All of that will get tested when this election happens.
Obviously, no. The point I'm trying to make here is that I think it has no basis. This statement of Parivarvad, what basis is it? I mean, it is not that Umar Abdullah himself became the chief minister. He was elected. People voted for it. People voted for Dr. Farooq Abdullah. And all the institutions that you see growing right now, who laid the foundation for these institutions? The institutions have suddenly not cropped up over the last of the last 4 months or so. People, whether it was National Conference government or the PDP government or other governments, they worked for these institutions, and that is why you see all these institutions hiding right now. As far as reservations are concerned, whether it is Gujar Bakrwal or Pahadi, I want to inform your viewers that it was during Dr. Farooq Abdullah's tenure that he was the chief minister. He had recommended, he wrote to then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi at that time, and it was after his recommendation that Gujar Bakrwal will give reservation. And for your information also, it was during Umar Abdullah's tenure that 4% reservation on the basis of Pahadi was given when Umar Abdullah.
Okay, Ravinder Sharma, where does the Congress stand on this issue of elections? We're hearing from Ghulam Nabi Azad's new party. They think it will be a democratic Azad versus BJP election. Is that the way that you see it, or do you think that Azad is now hand in gloves with the BJP?
See, first of all, Congress has already demanded that elections should be held as early as possible since 2018, June. Jammu and Kashmir is without democracy. They had an unholy alliance and a North Pole-South Pole government which utterly failed in their experiment, and they destroyed Jammu Kashmir. And thereafter they resorted to governor rule and then brought the historical state into UT, and now we are under Lieutenant Governor's rule. Since then, we have been demanding that let the government go for elections. Why do you deprive a state, full-fledged state, from the democratic exercise? We are ready for elections. Everybody wants elections, but the demand is restore statehood. You have committed on the floor of the House earlier also. Where was the need to downgrade, divide and downgrade the state, historical state? You had a political agenda of abrogation of Article 370, but the question
Shehzad,
is...
the Home Minister has promised that statehood will be restored. The question is when? Will that happen before the elections? Will it happen after the elections? All the Valley parties will demand that statehood be restored before elections.
It is not only the Valley party.
Rahul, if I may.
Rahul, everybody wants restoration of statehood.
When will statehood be restored?
May I respond? Yeah.
First of all,
Rahul, look, may I respond? Let's speak one at a time. Rahul, look. Rahul, can I please...
Rahul,
I won't be able to speak if he's going to continue to talk.
Rahul ji, is it my time? I do not... there is some confusion.
Ravinder ji, you've just spoken. I'm coming back to you in a moment. I've asked the question that you asked to Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP. When will statehood be restored, Shehzad?
Look, Rahul, these are decisions that are going to be taken in due course of time because there is obviously administrative and other issues that have to be factored in. And therefore, once a commitment has been made in Parliament, the steps will be taken towards that direction. But having said that, let me make a couple of points that are very important. First of all, look at who's talking about democracy in Jammu Kashmir. The Congress party, whose own Home Minister and former Finance Minister has acknowledged that one of the elections was rigged. This is their Home Minister and former Finance Minister who said it in the public domain. Secondly, the Congress party just spoke about the reservations. Let me tell you what kind of things they and Farooq Abdullah did. In 1989, the cabinet had recommended Pahadis, Bakarwals and Gujars to be put in the ST category. At that time, I think it was Mr. Pilot who only put the Gujars and the Bakarwals, and it was not a complete articulation of that status also, because a lot of the central laws that apply to the tribal community never applied. For instance, the atrocities against tribals and scheduled castes was never applicable because of Article 370. Today, it is the Justice Sharma Committee which has recommended the status for scheduled tribes, even for the Pahadis, and that is being moved. And let me tell you what else has been done. For the first time after the delimitation process, 9 seats are reserved for the scheduled tribes, of which 6 are in the Pir Panjal area. So this is the kind of representation that is being spoken of.
But you aren't answering my question. When is the right time to restore statehood in Jammu and Kashmir, before or after the elections?
Look, Rahul, we are, one second, Rahul, these are administrative matters where a large number of stakeholders are involved. For a spokesperson of a political party to announce a decision that should ideally be coming through Parliament or through made in Parliament would be quite haughty of me. But I am telling you that my party is committed, as has been spoken in Parliament, that we are ready to give all the rights that the state deserves. And the more important question, Rahul, that needs to be asked is that when Jammu Kashmir had the full status as a state, what did these 3.5 families do? What did they do? Let me give you one instance, which was why did they not make the scheduled tribe status for Pahadis when between 2005
so you're calling it an administrative decision, but this is pretty much a political decision, as was the abrogation of Article 370. General Hasnain, if you were to look at it from a political security perspective, when would be the right time for statehood to be restored? Do you do it after completing a successful election? Do you do it before going in for the polls, because that would encourage more people to come out and vote?
See, Rahul, I know we've been talking about the administrative inputs to take this final decision. But I personally feel this decision was taken on the 5th of August for a particular purpose. That was to my mind, the restoration of stability, to assist the government of India, the central government of India, to ensure that it had its hand in ensuring the stability and security of Jammu and Kashmir, before finally democracy was returned again. To my mind, that process should be completed once the elections are complete, once the government is in place, and then suitably a message can be sent out that the restoration of statehood has been done. So to my mind, it's a post-election. Asking me in black and white, it's a post-election decision and action which should be taken, because before that, if you do it prematurely and you cannot complete the democratic process for any reason whatsoever, it may not be correct.
Yashwant Deshmukh, is there any way at all of knowing the level of participation we could see in an election which is held sometime early next year? Participation, especially in parts of North Kashmir, has traditionally been low. Would it fall even further? At what level would you determine that electoral process to be a success?
Well, I genuinely believe, Rahul, looking at the numbers, of course, participation in election exercise and participation in opinion polling are two different things. But what I can tell you from my own experience is that the response rate from the valley also has been quite good in all our surveys, as in the case of Jammu. So I am expecting.
So are you surveying even now in Jammu and Kashmir? Do you want to tell our viewers just broadly, without getting into specifics, what you're picking up?
That's exactly what I'm, because you know that we do our trackers almost on a daily basis all across India. And what I can tell you from my experience and my team's experience is that the response rate has, in our exercises has been quite good, which kind of tells me that people are actually keen to take part in the democratic process. There are, of course, there are issues there which will remain there. You know, Rahul, it's historically speaking, it's quite a big fault line out there which will take its own time to heal. But I guess once the 370 is done and dusted, people are also looking at opportunity to move on, and that thing is something which will happen only when the statehood is retained and the electoral process starts. I guess that people are kind of keen to move over and proceed
so
for whatever the next thing they can do.
There. Do you restore statehood before elections, because that will get more people to come out and vote, or after elections, which would possibly be the more calibrated fashion, but that would impact the number of people showing up to vote? To what extent has the abrogation of Article 370 actually been a success? How much of this is spin doctoring and how much of it is people feeling that their lives are better? Not just in terms of government claims, but in terms of how people feel and their connection with the mainland. Those are things which will get validated in some way by the number of people who show up to vote in these elections that happen. The Home Minister indicating that this could happen after the electoral rolls are completed. I want to thank all our guests. We'll keep tracking the electoral process as it builds up towards the beginning of next year. A big move this, to go to Baramulla, seen for a long time as a hotbed of terror on the day of Vijayadashmi, sending out this message about his report card, what the government has done, and about the road forward on the elections. We'll slip into a break. When we come back, we are following up to India Today's big investigation exposing the Pakistan Dawat-e-Islami. Details coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
I noticed something new. You've started using a new body lotion.
Funny. So sorry for the delay. I was on another call. It just kept going on.
No, Papa. You are in a steam bath.
Steam bath? At home?
Two steam bath he takes.
Go to your homework.
It's 7:20 already. The kickoff's in 5 minutes. Get all the boys. We have the entire place to ourselves, man. Not working?
Of course it is. But I don't want you guys to be using this bathroom. So use the other one. Hey, I noticed something new. You've started using a new body lotion.
Funny.
Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today. China's debt trap has pushed the island into one of the tragic financial crises. Now the IMF has agreed to restore macroeconomic stability within the country. Sri Lanka reached an agreement with the IMF where it said that it will provide a loan worth $2.9 million to Sri Lanka. The extended funds will help Sri Lanka to restore their sustainability. The 48-month program is yet to be approved by the IMF management. IMF Senior Mission Chief Peter Brewer reinforced the need for urgent short-term support for Sri Lanka to avert a humanitarian crisis in the country. To get IMF's assistance, Sri Lanka must adhere to their conditions. The island country has to implement major tax reforms. This includes making personal income tax more progressive, while broadening the tax base for corporate income tax and VAT to meet a primary surplus of 2.3% of GDP by 2024. They have to introduce cost recovery-based pricing for fuel and electricity to minimize fiscal risks arising from the state-owned enterprises, mitigate the impact of current crisis on the poor by raising social spending, and rebuild foreign reserves through restoring a market-determined and flexible exchange rate, restore price stability through data-driven monetary policy action, fiscal consolidation, phasing out of monetary financing as well. Finally, Sri Lanka must reduce corruption vulnerabilities by improving fiscal transparency and public financial management. India helped Sri Lanka by offering financial packages worth $500 million credit facility, gasoline imports and credit for critical imports from India. India has sent also $2.4 billion through currency swaps, loan deferrals. But it's not helped Sri Lanka enough. Apart from India, Japan...
Priti, you refused Karan Johar's lust stories because the role centered around the female orgasm and your mother vetoed it.
So my mother was just it is a short film. It's a 20-minute thing about only a female orgasm. I mean, fine, if you're doing a 20-minute thing in a full-fledged film, it still makes sense. But maybe I don't think you should do it at this point. So that was the whole discussion.
So you've been very open, and to your great credit.
I've been very open till now. I'm very open for everything. Like I have allowed them
कोई love scene
to go to parties.
कृति की कोई love scene हो या
no problem.
You have no problem
I
with that.
don't have any problem.
You've only drawn the line at the orgasm. उसके पहले.
Co-presented by only OLX Autos gives the best price for your car. Co-presented by Macho Hint, fashion bade aaram se.
Last night on the news track, we exposed how the Pakistan-based Dawat-e-Islami has spread its tentacles in India, running radicalization operations in the garb of offering online courses. The explosive investigation became a national talking point, coming in for high praise from top government officials and experts. India Today is the channel of real impact.
खुदा की राह में मारे जाएं उन्हें मुर्दा न कहो बल्कि वो जिंदा हैं वतन अजीज पाकिस्तान हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी नेमत है इसकी तामीर में हम सबको हिस्सा लेना चाहिए ऐ काश हमारा मुल्क हकीकी मानों में इस्लाम का मजबूत कलआ बन जाए
A probe that exposed the Indian footprints of a radical Pakistani organization.
आज मुसलमान गफलत में पड़े हुए हैं हर तरफ गुनाहों का दौर दौरा है और गैर मुस्लिम हम पर गालिब हो चुके हैं कोई कुर्बानी देता भी है तो दुनिया के लिए देता है आखिरत का तस्वुर कम होता जा रहा है
A Karachi-based organization linked to the beheaders of Udaipur tailor Kanhaiya Lal. India Today penetrated deep into Pakistan's Dawat-e-Islami.
माशाअल्लाह तो हमें आपका फॉर्म मिला हुआ है यार भाई हमारे यहाँ मदनी खाजा और नाजरा कोर्स होता है तो इससे पहले आपने कभी मदनी खाजा पढ़ा है
And unraveled something seriously disturbing. Dawat-e-Islami's well-oiled structure in India with bank accounts, local mobile numbers and men on the ground. Our probe has drawn praise from the country's topmost strategic, defense, cyber experts and members of civil society.
Rahul, at the very outset, compliments to your reporter for uncovering this. I really wish it wasn't your reporter, but an official agency of the government which had actually uncovered it. But I think these days journalists are doing a better job of getting this kind of information than the spooks are.
Our probe blew the whistle on Dawat-e-Islami's sinister propaganda in India, carried out by borderless technology and aimed at radicalizing Indian Muslims.
I personally feel this investigation should have been done by some intelligence agency or the police.
Sir, हमें भी करने दो थोड़ा सा काम. We can also do some good stories.
Yes, compliment to your team and great work done.
The probe alerted civil society about Pakistan's latest tactics.
Whatever you have presented today is appreciable, and nobody can deny that this is a fact.
Our probe has prompted calls for a full-fledged investigation by central agencies into Dawat-e-Islami's operations in India.
Your illustrious and a very competent reporter penetrated the deep web, that is Dawat-e-Islami, and ably penetrated by Muhammad Hizbullah. Compliments and kudos to him. I am sure the intelligence agencies and the police agencies could have and must have access to them, and if they have access to them, what are they doing till now?
हमारे यहाँ सुबह 8 बजे से लेकर के रात में 12 बजे तक क्लास चलती रहती है ना.
अच्छा.
तो अब इसमें आप जो भी टाइम बताएंगे.
A blockbuster expose and an alarm for the country's security establishment. A report by India Today's Special Investigative Team.
This is where I wrap up the news track tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. Wish you all a very happy Dussehra. I'll see you again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Goodbye. Good night.
Hey, I noticed something new. You started using a new body lotion.
Funny. Pet dogs and their owners are in the news amid a string of incidents involving pet dogs attacking owners and others. And to curb such incidents, here are some approaches that pet owners should take based on the breed and behavioral patterns of their dog. When it comes to pet dogs, the most popular breeds for adoption are German Shepherds, Beagles, Pit Bulls, Spitz, Labradors and Golden Retrievers. So let's take a look at the various approaches that must be taken when dealing with these pet dogs. They're arguably the most versatile dog breed. This dog breed is intelligent and large in size. They make excellent guard dogs and can perform a variety of tasks and are used especially by police officers and military personnel. They detect illegal drugs, bombs and track down terrorists. According to some animal rescuers, German Shepherds are larger protectors, so one needs to understand their needs before adopting one. A German Shepherd who's being chained all the time, whether in an apartment or a farm, can be ferocious. So they need a lot of exercise, they need a lot of playtime to burn their energy. Early socialization, not only with humans and children, but with other animals is also very, very important for such breeds. When it comes to Beagles, don't be fooled by their cute appearance or small size. They're a high energy breed of dog and were bred to detect animals hiding from hunters. Because of this, their bark is also rather unique. They bark in a howl-like manner to alert the hunter of their target. The breed is very friendly with children and other pets, but it requires early socialization, daily long walks and mental workouts such as obeying the human parents' commands.
From cars driving down the street to the security guard, the world becomes a little less scary for the pet once you make it accustomed to your surroundings. Anytime your dog has a successful interaction with another human or another dog, give the dog a treat. This encourages positive and social behavior. Now, pit bulls, they're very controversial in the news right now, are known for being people-oriented and affectionate, believe it or not, as well as having a lot of energy. They're being bred, unfortunately, unregulated in India, primarily for hunting and dog fighting in some states. In comparison to other thoroughbred pedigrees, pit bulls are a relatively new breed. They're arguably the most misunderstood dog breed in the world. And because of their involvement in biting cases, they're being left to die at an alarming rate in shelters and being abandoned. Pit bull owners must begin early socialization with their pets and seek expert help as soon as they notice any signs of aggression. With exercises, mental workouts and early socialization, they make a great family.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Justice, liberty, equality, the pillars that built India. A nation where everyone has dignity and opportunities to prosper. But today, over 75 years after independence, Dalits remain a community trapped for centuries by the caste system, languishing in a dismal state. Nearly 20% of India's population is Dalit. Dalits still live in abject poverty, excluded on the margins, facing atrocities, toxic untouchability, and no opportunities for economic upliftment. The father of India's constitution, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, fought all his life for the upliftment of Dalits. In the past, many state and central governments have made big promises, but it has been nothing more than lip service. Basic human rights have still not been delivered. Dalits remain downtrodden and discriminated against. This shocking reality is a national shame. Few have dared to break the cage of caste discrimination until now. Friend to the downtrodden, upholding human rights and dignity, championing Ambedkar's India, KCR is showing India and the world. Our revolution is sparked in Telangana through his path-breaking scheme, Telangana Dalit Bandhu. Approximately 17,50,000 Dalit families call Telangana home, and now they are calling Telangana the land of opportunity. Thanks to Dalit Bandhu, launched in 2021 by the TRS government, a world-first scheme which will give each Dalit family an astounding financial boost of 10 lakh rupees. There are many more schemes along with this which are under implementation all over the state. But Dalit Bandhu is a specially designed program for the upliftment of the Dalit community. It has an unprecedented objective to uplift 17,50,000 Dalit households with a one-time capital grant of 10 lakh rupees per household, 100% subsidy with zero repayment, delivered via direct-to-beneficiary transfer, with a dedicated Dalit Bandhu scheme help desk and monitoring committee at village, mandal, district and state level, and a 10% reservation for Dalits in profit-generating schemes, government contracts and licenses. In addition to this, Telangana has another visionary program for Dalit students, residential schools and colleges, and Ambedkar Overseas Vidya Nidhi, a 20 lakh rupees overseas scholarship, giving them the most powerful tool for success, education. Huzurabad, 2021. The Telangana Dalit Bandhu pilot was launched. Telangana's Dalit Bandhu is a path-breaking scheme that places absolute trust in the beneficiary. Each household has complete freedom and flexibility to decide its business and how to grow their dreams.
నేను వచ్చేసి ఫార్మసీ చదివాను సార్. దాని తర్వాత యాజ్ ఏ ఫార్మసిస్ట్గా చాలా ప్లేస్లో చేశాను సార్. ఎప్పుడైతే మన తెలంగాణ గవర్నమెంట్ ఈ దళిత బంధు పెట్టిందో అప్పుడు ఇంకా నాకు ఎప్పటి నుంచో నా ఓన్గా బిజినెస్ పెట్టుకున్నామని నాకు అంతకుముందే ఉండేది సార్. మన టీఆర్ఎస్ గవర్నమెంట్ దళిత బంధు స్కీమ్ ఒకటి పెట్టి నా ఓన్గా నేను సెటిల్ కావడానికి ఒక ఆపర్చునిటీ క్రియేట్ చేసింది సార్.
Households were identified as beneficiaries and the direct benefit transfer of 10 lakh rupees was made. Each family unit was free to decide how they wished to invest this 100% subsidy. It could be a single or multiple businesses. Multiple beneficiaries could pool their resources to build a bigger business. It could be in any sector of their choice. The sky was the limit. In no time, the stories of transformation began rolling in. These are just a small fraction of the 40,000 success stories that Telangana has empowered through the Dalit Bandhu scheme. In just 1 year, it has smashed records for any Dalit upliftment scheme in the country. Till date, the Dalit Bandhu scheme has been implemented in all 119 assembly constituencies in Telangana. Beneficiaries have achieved prosperity for their families. They have also created opportunity for their community by providing employment and revenue. The resounding success of the Dalit Bandhu scheme has energized the TRS government to accelerate its efforts. From 40,000 beneficiaries with an outlay of 4,441.8 crore rupees, now Telangana government has raised the Dalit Bandhu budget to reach about 2 lakh beneficiaries with an outlay of 17,700 crore rupees, making this the world's largest direct benefit scheme.
దళిత బంధు వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ 10 లక్షలు అనేది మామూలుగా అందరికీ ఆపర్చునిటీ రాదు. ఇది పూర్తిగా గవర్నమెంట్ వాళ్ళు మాకు 10 లక్షలు ఇచ్చేసి మీ ఇష్టం ఉన్న వ్యాపారాన్ని పెట్టుకో అని చెప్పేసి అనడం వల్ల మాకు ఇంత ఆర్థిక పురోగతి కలిగింది. అదే కాకుండా మేము ఇంతకుముందు ఒక దగ్గర వర్కర్గా పనిచేసిన వాళ్ళం ఇప్పుడు ఓనర్గా ఉండగలుగుతున్నాం.
Never before has such a revolutionary scheme been designed to end caste discrimination, where Dalits receive 100% opportunity along with 100% dignity.
దళిత బంధు పథకం రాకముందు మేమైతే చాలా స్ట్రగుల్స్ ఫేస్ చేసాము. దళిత బంధు పథకం కింద మేము ఈ ఎంబ్రాయిడరీ మిషన్ ఎంచుకొని పెట్టుకున్నాము. నేర్చుకున్న వరకునే నేను ఫుల్ఫిల్ చేయాలనుకొని ఈ ఎంబ్రాయిడరీ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను సార్. ఇచ్చినందుకు చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు కేసీఆర్ గారికి, తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వానికి కూడా మేము ఎంతో రుణపడి ఉన్నాము.
ముగ్గురం కలిసి ఒక యూనిట్ పెట్టాము. అంటే 30 lakhs పెట్టి ఒక వెహికల్ను ఇప్పుడు అమెరికన్ టూరిస్ట్ షాప్ పెట్టాము. బాగానే నడుస్తుంది ఇప్పుడైతే. అంటే నేను జాబ్ చేసేవాడిని, ఇప్పుడు ఓనర్గా అంటే ఒక కంపెనీ ఓనర్గా ఇప్పుడు ఫీల్ అవుతున్నా. చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది.
జీవనోపాధిగా మిషన్ కుట్టుకుంటూ బ్రతికేదాన్ని సార్. మాకు 3 పిల్లలు, వాళ్ళని చదివించుకుంటూ మేము బ్రతకాలంటే చాలా కష్టమైంది సార్. ఇప్పుడు దళిత బంధు ద్వారా కేసీఆర్ గారు ఆదుకున్నారు సార్. వాళ్ళు ఇద్దరం కలిసి పెట్టుకున్నాం సార్ మిషన్. కోయంబత్తూరు నుంచి వెళ్ళి తెప్పించుకున్నాం సార్ మిషన్ను. నాన్ ఓవెన్ బ్యాగ్స్ సార్. మాకు నెలకు 50,000 వరకు వస్తాయి సార్. 3 జీతాలు 50,000 వరకు వస్తాయి సార్.
For Telangana's leadership, it's not about breaking records, but about ensuring financial freedom for all. Each Dalit Bandhu grant of 10 lakh rupees has an inbuilt 10,000 rupees safety net, Dalita Rakshana Nidhi, to ensure that all Dalit families get financial assistance from the fund at times of distress. To further strengthen this, Telangana government contributes additional 10,000 rupees, which is over and above each grant. A great safety net that has no parallel anywhere in the world. For the KCR government, this is more than just a financial benefit. If any beneficiary of Dalit Bandhu meets with fatal disease or accident, the family should not go through additional depression and hard times. They should remain protected. That is the true purpose of the special safety net designed as Dalita Rakshana Nidhi.
కేసీఆర్ సార్ ఇంత పెద్ద స్కీమ్ తీసుకురావడం అనేది చాలా గొప్ప విషయం సార్. మాలాంటి వాళ్ళకి ఓన్గా ఒక కంపెనీ పెట్టి ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ కావాలనుకునే వాళ్ళ కోసం ఇది గోల్డెన్ ఆపర్చునిటీ సార్.
అదే కాకుండా దళితులు అంటే సమాజంలో అందరికీ చిన్న చూపుగానే ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఇవ్వడం వల్ల
సారు దళిత బంధు ఇచ్చి మమ్మల్ని ఎంతో ఆదుకున్నారు సారు. మాకు మరో అంబేద్కర్ గారు సారు మాకైతే మాటల్లో చెప్పలేము. ఆయనకు మాకు ఎంతో బతుకునిచ్చిండ్రు అసలు.
Under the fearless leadership of KCR, Dalits finally have a government that protects and defends them. Telangana inspires them to overcome oppression and empowers them to be bold so that each Dalit can move up in the world with head held high, creating their own success story, making Telangana shine and, in turn, India.
Scroll. Is that what you do all day? A study says that excessive use of social media can develop depression in young adults. The study was published in the Journal of Affective Disorders Reports. It says that young adults who use social media more are likely to develop depression within 6 months, and this is regardless of their personality type. Previous research has linked depression with many other factors, including social media. This study addresses the important research questions, finding strong and linear associations of depression across all personality traits. In 2018, the study took a sample of more than 1,000 young adults from America aging between 18 and 30. Depression was measured using the Patient Health Questionnaire. Social media was measured by asking participants how much daily time was spent using popular social media platforms, and personality was measured using the Big Five inventory. This assessed openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. The authors suggest that social comparison can enhance negative feelings in one. This could explain how depression increases with prolonged use of social media. Another reason could be indulging in negative content. Finally, engaging more on social media reduces opportunities for in-person or social interactions. The study was published by Renee Merrill. She said findings from the study are important during a time of technology expansion and integration. Connecting to people virtually may increase the risk of miscommunication or misperception that leads to relationship difficulties and potential risk for developing mental health problems.
Horse racing and polo in India are as much of a celebration as they're a sport. With big classics and important race days comes a lot of fashion. While you will see women sipping champagne in their colorful fancy dresses, the hats and fascinators are a delight to the eye.
The crown of your head had to be covered by something in the presence of the queen. So that's how really fascinators and hats originated at the race courses all over the world. And then, as always, it became a fashion statement. So you have like the best of designers making hats and fascinators. It's not so big in India. It's huge in England.
How one wears a fascinator or a hat is equally important.
So the color and cut can be anything. I mean, that's absolutely fine. But what you have to remember is not to wear something like a gown, like you're going to an event, because it's a day affair. Then not to wear like you're going clubbing, not to dress like you're going to a cowboy show. It's elegant dressing. So it can be a dress which is very cool and easy to wear for our climate. I love jackets, and right now jackets with statement shoulders is something I would love to see. So anything smart, a skirt and a jacket, jacket tied up with a belt. You can even wear jeans on a casual day with a really nice top.
The face cuts, overall shoulder size and dress play a huge part in deciding the right hat or fascinator.
I've worn a red dress and kept it quite simple because the color is bold, and my shoes are nude, but we have a lot of options that we can play around with this. As you saw, I wore a red and nude fascinator. You can also wear a plain red fascinator. You can also wear a black fascinator or just a nude fascinator. So if the color is loud and bold, then you keep the fascinator either neutral or the same color. And same goes with the shoes. You can keep neutral shoes, you can keep red shoes, and you can keep black shoes. But what I would like one of the pieces to stand out. So if you're wearing a red dress and a red hat, the rest has to be neutral, the shoes and the handbag. If you're wearing a red dress and a red handbag, then keep the fascinator in line with that.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Priti, you refused Karan Johar's lust stories because the role centered around the female orgasm and your mother vetoed it.
So my mother was just it is a short film. It's a 20-minute thing about only a female orgasm. I mean, fine, if you're doing a 20-minute thing in a full-fledged film, it still makes sense. But maybe I don't think you should do it at this point. So that was the whole discussion.
So you've been very open, and to your great credit.
I've been very open till now. I'm very open for everything. Like I have allowed them
कोई love scene
to go to parties.
Kriti की कोई love scene हो या
no problem.
You have no problem
I
with that.
don't have any problem.
You've only drawn the line at the orgasm. उसके पहले
Co-presented by Only OLX Autos gives the best price for your car. Co-presented by Macho Hint, Fashion Bade Aaram Se. Co-presented by Only OLX Autos gives the best price for your car. Co-presented by Macho Hint, Fashion Bade Aaram Se.
Hello and welcome once again to India Today, India Tomorrow, this unique series where we cut across generations to bring you a slice of life. And today we're bringing you not just a slice of life, but a slice of music. Because with us is a unique trio. We've got Shankar Mahadevan, composer, singer, who's blazed a trail in the Hindi film industry and beyond. And his sons join us, Siddharth and Shivam. Appreciate the Mahadevans with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are honored. We are honored.
Pleasure, sir.
Wonderful to see all three of you.
Thank you.
And, music is the soul of life.
Absolutely.
And to have three of you together is special. So, Shankar, I want to start with you with the question that has often troubled me in a way. I was a cricketer's son, but at 21 I realized cricket is not in the blood. I just wasn't good enough. Is music in the blood? We've got the Mangeshkars and we've had the Burmans, the Roshans, and now we've got the Mahadevan family.
I really believe that it's part of your DNA. I mean, it's not that it can only be the case, but many a times it happens that it is part of the DNA. Because Siddharth and Shivam, I never ever forced them to do music. I never put any pressure on them. I mean, they're all like sports buffs. This guy's a tech geek. I mean, he's got his own, he's academically very good. Me and Sangeeta, my wife, we never ever told them that, you have to. But somehow, they just came and they slowly gravitated towards music. So I would say that musical elements is there in the DNA, but it's up to you to nurture it and to make it blossom.
No, you're saying therefore the voice and the ability to understand music is inherited.
Yeah. It's like, some people, they're very comfortable with maths. Or some people are very comfortable. They take a pen and they start drawing and it's very natural. So I think it is, if you're a musician and your kids do have that DNA, and music is in the blood, is what I feel.
Did he ever force you? Did your parents ever force you? Hey, you've got to become musicians, guys.
No, never.
Honestly.
In fact, I was so inclined to music, like right from when I was probably 4 or 5. We would just jam at home, me and my elder cousin Somil, whom I compose now with and do a lot of music right now. So right from that age, I would love to play the percussion, or I would just try out any instrument that was at home. So it was
because it
never
was,
forced or-
is that because it was in the home that he would sing, whether it was in the bathroom or whether it was in the drawing room or the bedroom, he would always be singing?
See, subconscious influence, of course, I'm sure played a massive role in the musicality that we developed over the years, because just being around that quality of music when he would jam with his peers, or whether it was going to the studio, I think the kind of knowledge and subconscious musicality that you build up, that is separate. But an inherent, liking and an interest towards music was always there.
And you're the youngest, so you had dad and elder brother
Siddharth.
both sort of putting, buzzing with music all over the house, jamming away.
Yeah, so I didn't even know if I could sing. Like I was, I think 7 or 8 or something, where one day I was just singing a song that I had recently heard. And then from that day onwards, when they understood that I had the ability to sing a little bit, even at that age, so then since then at small family occasions and gatherings, they asked me to sing a couple of songs.
That was? It was a Lata Mangeshkar ji's Aarti, Ganpati Aarti. Tuza Magato Mi Aata.
Sing it just for a moment. Just give me the first 2 lines.
Tuza Magato Mi Aata, Magato Aata, Tuza Magato Mi Aata.
Lovely. So at the age of 10, you were already singing, I think.
Much younger.
Your first Marathi song.
Yeah, that was my first Marathi
Your
song
first
ever.
Marathi song professionally at the age of 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think another song for a Ganpati album I recorded when I was 9. So it all began for
But you
Singh.
forgot, you recorded for a very big Bollywood film even before that. That was Dhoom 3.
No, that was when I was 11. Dhoom
Really?
3. I recorded for Dhoom 3
So
when I
you
was
recorded it for Dhoom 3 at 11. You were at 19, doing Zinda, the big hit in Bhag Milka Bhag. And suddenly, this is 19, this is at the age of 10 and 11. You, on the other hand, Shankar, were an engineer. in your early 20s and suddenly drifted into music?
See, no, I didn't drift into. I was always a musician. See, I was playing the harmonium when I was 3.5 years old. So music was always there, as you say, in the blood. But my case was my parents were not musicians. But I don't know, it just the whole understanding of the relationship between a melody and its equivalent notes was instant for me. For example, I saw the harmonium, I did not know what instrument it is, and I just started playing Chal 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 Mere Saathi on it.
So you were at the age of 5 learning these instruments,
already,
even though your parents were not full-time musicians, but probably interested in music.
Very.
Good sort of Tamil tradition.
Yeah, Tam Brahms.
Tam Brahms.
So, you know, Tam Brahms, you know how it is? It is either engineer or doctor, you know, in those days. So, good educational background, simple, going to school, good marks, college, engineering. So, it was growing at a great pace.
So, the music was there as
Always,
a parallel theme.
Yeah.
Even though you became an engineer, and one day you suddenly decide, bahut ho gaya engineering, let's make a music album.
That was a very funny incident. I told my boss that, you know, kal se I'm changing my career. He thought I was mad because I was a very successful professional engineer working on Oracle actually.
Yes.
And all my friends, they were going to the US. And my passports were also taken. But he had gone down to the garage to, you know, to take a cigarette break. I just want to meet him. And I told him that tomorrow I'm changing my career, boss. He thought, tu pagal ho raha hai yaar. I mean, I've taken your passports, you'll go to the US. No, I have to do it now. It's now or never.
And what was that turning point? What was that moment where you switched and said, you know, I've done it, I'm done with engineering, my real love and passion is music?
You know, what used to happen, every third day I used to get a call for some jingle record. You know, so many of, even when you were in, you know, different channels, many of those signature IDs, many of the alaps, many of the popular commercial brands, I used to sing the alaps, I used to sing the jingles, I used to be busy. And every third day I used to get a call from the studio. And I used to tell my, hey boss, jara office samala hai na, main ja raha hu, dubbing karke aa raha hu. Because when I used to enter the studio, that was amazing. Arey, how do these people, the whole day they're just doing music? What a beautiful life. Kabhi mera bhi ho sakta hai kya? That was the thing. Then I said, forget it, yaar. Let me just, this was a very cushy, lucrative engineering career, you know, with a typical, you know, house in America. I would have had a nice 2-3 cars, one bungalow, the typical American life, like all my engineering buddies are doing. But then I said, no, I have to risk it. Here it was completely hazy. Nobody, koi bulayega, nahi bulayega, what's going to happen, nothing. I said, I want to take a job.
So you actually took a huge risk in life by doing what you did.
Yes.
For you guys, on the other hand, was it easier, has it been easier, Siddharth and Shivam, for being Shankar Mahadevan's son, that you'll get many more breaks, many more opportunities than he would have got? No. You think, you look at it that way?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe you'll get your first break or an opportunity, but then after that, to sustain in this industry is, you know, the people only speak about your success, because you might get one song, or you might get that one opportunity to go and meet a director or meet a composer, and you might get that project, but then nobody's going to call you for the second project if you've not been successful.
Not done a good
No, but I am still seen as the children of Shankar Mahadevan when you go, let's say, to a music director, or you jam, or you do a concert. Are you still seen, you know, constant comparisons? Are they as good as your dad? Does that worry you at all? Are you individuals on your own?
See, I think that's where he's also always told us that, you know, always have your own niche, create your own identity in what you're doing. And, you know, all those comparisons will always be there, and there's nothing wrong in it, because we are his sons. We don't want to not be his sons.
But how are you all different then? What is your, how
we have completely, especially Shivam and I have very different styles. You want
to, tell us how are you all different? What's your style?
He's also a little more interested in, you know, the production, you know, part of the music also, because he composes. I'm not so into composing yet. I definitely want to get into it, but for now I'm probably more interested in the technicalities of how a song is supposed to be sung, and he's probably, you know, more interested and gifted when it comes to composing and the technicalities of production of a song. So that way we're very different, and his genres are different, his likings are different.
Like, he loves to sing classical music. Maybe I'm not the best at singing classical music, So we've got our different styles.
It's generational, right?
Yeah.
He would still like singing classical Carnatic music, for example.
But I think they are comparing among themselves, huh?
No, this is not with that.
This is not with that.
not with that.
With both of us.
This is both of us.
So you're telling me that from every generation things are changing. You all have to. What's your favorite music?
No, that's.
What's the music?
That's a very, very difficult question.
What's the music that really sends you, gives you a high?
It's different every hour.
It's different every hour.
I started, learning music by listening to Lata Mangeshkar ji and by listening to Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab. So it's like I started with, the best female singer the country has ever had, and Bollywood songs that she has sung, and also ghazals. So probably that is my favorite.
I've always been listening to varied genres of music, like whether it was fusion music, what Dad would do with his bands back in the day, or it was rock like Linkin Park and stuff like that, or R&B artists, hip hop artists.
You're all over the place.
Completely.
No, he would take a flight from here to Scotland just to see one concert and come back. He's that crazy.
Wow.
So yeah.
Who did you go to see? Who's
I went to watch. So I love Bruno Mars. So I flew to Ireland to watch him. Just flew alone, wanted to watch his concert.
I drove 300 kilometers once to listen to Springsteen. Because for me, Bruce
and you
Springsteen,
should do that.
but I could also go 500 kilometers to listen to Kishore Kumar.
Correct. Exactly.
For me, an R.D. Burman concert that I once saw as a student in England at Wembley was special.
And I'm glad you did that, because my life's regret has been I have not met R.D. Burman and Kishore Kumar. Though I've worked with every singer, every hero, every music director in the country, whether it's Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, I've sung with everybody. My only regret is I have not met Kishore Kumar and R.D. Burman.
Any favorite Kishore R.D. song?